I'll put on my hat.
And what's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Children of Primus Freestyle Frenzy Sunday with myself, Spin.
And Professor D in the house.
In the house.
In the motel. Hotel Holiday Inn.
Say what?
Tell him.
This episode is brought to you by water.
And champagne.
Yeah. Right.
You gotta have a good bottle of champagne to celebrate TFCON 2022.
Chicago.
That's where I'm representing from. I'm here in Chicago representing, popping bottles to everybody who couldn't be out here for TFCON Chicago. But we do have the highlights for you. We got the champagne to share with you virtually. And we're gonna run down some of the footage that I took, and go over some of my antics.
Yes.
Yeah, and all of you guys watching right now, you can tell my throat is a little hoarse. I'm a little tired, so if I seem a little zoned out, it's because I've been going hard for the whole conference all weekend long.
You know, it just seems to be that weekend, because just yesterday, we were myself and Ghost, we were DJing a party in Niagara.
Dope.
Yeah, and actually Diamond was also there as well.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So good reunion. Getting the boys back together.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in probably like 20 years.
Are you supposed to shake it first before you pop it?
I think so.
I think it's gonna pop on its own. Pop.
There you go.
Children of Primus. Here.
It's a celebration.
It's a celebration. Yeah,
or some would say a celebrate.
A celebrate.
A celebrate.
All right. I got a little rack of ribs here too.
Nice.
So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Spin, you got some videos queued up?
I do have a video queued up. Let me just get it into the screen. There we go.
So
yes.
Go ahead.
And introduce the video.
Yeah, so third-party panels is just a couple minutes in. So we're going through, it's just in parts, just because I had to start and stop the video, so that's the only reason it's in parts. But let's go through the reveals and talk about what looks good, what's exciting, what's not.
All right.
Mark itself, nice little size to go along with those sets. We have now, I'm not sure if this is the end, so eye on the prize. You know what, I'm going to fully admit here, I did not get that pun until just now. I read this like 2 or 3 times before this, and I did not get that pun until just this second. Eye on the prize, an homage to Thundercracker, of course. 35 millimeters and 14 different points of articulation. And we have Headshot, part of the reflector set, homage to the reflector set. 29 millimeters, 14 points of articulation. There is a secondary one without the viewfinder, snapshot.
I should add some popcorn.
Same articulation, same height. It just doesn't have the viewfinder on the chest. Next we have Wind Warp, homage to Skywarp, of course. Again, going back to 35 millimeters, 14 different points of articulation.
I am the prize is better.
Star Crown, as it should be, right? Nice little name there.
That's okay.
Star Crown, our Starscream.
So you're hearing the same.
You can see that this one comes with the Megatron
35
pistol.
millimeters.
35 millimeters, like that's tiny.
3.5 centimeters. So they're itsy bitsy. They're non-transforming, but they are articulating.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What kind of engineering goes into, for something that small?
So this is Half the Battle Toys, which is a company run by this guy named Mike in the U.S. And He's developing some new techniques for 3D printing to get really elaborate engineering on those little pieces.
Okay.
So that's why he's able to make those figures so tiny.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, as we go through, and obviously it's hard to see the screen, but we'll keep playing it. And I think maybe there's going to be a screenshot where you see actually the size scale.
Okay.
Let's keep going here.
That it can hold. Very cool. Very cool. We have Mega Strong with the flailing mace on Thora hand. Very classic. This was 40 millimeters tall. I believe this is the largest of them, or at least tied for the largest. And it's got 14 different points of articulation. So again, like small little figures, but very, very posable. A lot of you can do with 14 different points of articulation. All right, so that kind of sums up the nanobots. Here we got a shot of some of the autobots, or homage to autobots, I should say. And we got a kind of a shot of our homage Decepticons as well. And that's going to wrap it up for the nanobots. Oh, except the in-hand pictures. So here's the prototype. See, I told you these guys were cute and small. Yeah. Look at that. Wow. So that would be, let's say, the prototype of not Seeing Red. No, but it'll. Little Red. Thank you, Little Red. Appreciate that.
So what's hilarious is watching the video here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you can make out on the screen, as small as that is, but that was a palm, and then that little dot that you saw in the palm, which any of our viewers right now looking at it, they can't see what that is. That was Cliff Jumper. Like, that's how small it is, a dot in your palm. And it's and you saw, he said with the Megatron anyways, 14 points of articulation in a 4 centimeter figure. And then the 4 centimeter one, he said the Megatron is one of the bigger ones. That Cliff Jumper is smaller, may not have 14 points, but still, I mean, fully articulated arms and legs, and you can barely see it in your hand.
Now, did anyone suggest, in terms of scaling, I guess 2 questions. How many of those figures exist? And the second question is, did anyone automatically think of the idea of scaling that with the HasLab Unicron?
I think that's going to be in the next picture. Let's watch it. I think that's exactly what,
And keep in mind,
all right,
this was kind of like one of the shorter ones, but like.
And these are not out yet. He's still developing these figures.
Okay.
There's prototypes.
Would it fit in a diachrome cockpit? Like imagine putting them inside the 1984 Transformers.
That would be dope.
See, what I was talking about is, are they? What I'm wondering is, are they actually small enough to fit inside the 1984 figures, right? That were diaclone figures that have those seats. Yep. So like, you put like Sunstreaker inside Sunstreaker, which would be pretty awesome.
Or
I don't know if they're that small, but but you could probably fit one inside Optimus Prime cab, because there's a good amount of space in that cab.
Well, funny, I was thinking one of the like Grimlock's the seat in Grimlock, or in one of the Seekers.
In the Seeker, that would be dope. That would be dope if the Starscream. So if the Starscream could fit inside there, I don't think it'll fit, because of the wings, even if the figure was the right dimension, But anyway, let's go on. I think they're going to show a picture with the uniform.
That's funny.
Oh, that's the arc right next to it.
Here's a couple of our Decepticons, unpainted Decepticons. Now here it is in comparison to some D&D figurines.
Wow.
So basically, it's the same size as those little D&D figurines that people use.
Oh, okay.
All right, so up next from the same company, Half the Battles Toys, we have now, this is kind of featuring the hammer itself. The figure is Studio One Cell, the third-party Unicron figure.
What they're showing here is third-party Unicron. There's the HasLab Unicron. There's also this one by Studio Cell, which they're showing there. And what you can't make out is in his hand, they've made a hammer to go with him. So they just invented a weapon that he can hold, and it looks pretty good.
Okay.
Chaos Hammer. to go with your Studio One cell figure. So big giant boss of a robot needs a big giant boss of a weapon. So definitely wreaking some chaos with that chaos hammer. Now HD Toys have also released shots of Transformer G.I. Joe crossovers. We can expect to probably see these pretty soon, hitting the market. Obviously, we got like a Soundwave or homage Soundwave going into the his tank or homage his tank, and yeah, expect to see those kind of hitting websites pretty soon, I think. Mostly through websites, like our show sponsors.
All right, so that was all half the battle
Okay, so
toys.
next
Now we're
up
moving to the next company.
To a completely new company, Madhand and Nakomake Toys. Now, they've got a really cool release here. Now, this is kind of a test shot. I'll show you more, don't worry. This isn't just it. But this is going to be, it's called the Legend Reborn series, and this is going to be the Ash Lord. This is going to be a model kit. This is a non-transforming model kit. Made of ABS, plastic die-cast parts, 31 centimeters or just over 1 foot tall when completed. It's going to have over 830 different parts. In terms of your Gunman model fan, it's a PG level build with multiple joint linkage design. And do you know who this is homaging? Grimlock, yeah. So, the style they're going for here is debatable, of course, but I'm kind of feeling like a Bumblebee movie kind of Grimlock line. Like, what if Grimlock had appeared in the Bumblebee movie? This is kind of what I was seeing like. So, very cool, very clean looking.
Just another non-transforming model.
Wait, sorry?
Just another non-transforming model kit.
Today again, over 830 parts. So that is a good old afternoon building that model kit. That's a weekend. That's a full weekend. Yeah, just a beauty, isn't it? Very clean back design. All right, next up is a company called Metagate. Now, Metagate, you might know them for a very, very recent release called Haiku. Yeah, so this one might actually be available to buy today. There might be a couple dealers in the room with this figure, because this one has been released. Now, this is an homage to Age of Extinction Drift. Material is ABS. It comes in at 20 centimeters, and this is a full triple changing bot. So this, I think, is absolutely incredible. Excellent mobility, tons of articulation. Arms and thighs are double joints. The wrists can also move so that it can point a sword at you, which I don't know if I've seen before. And the rear rings of the car form can also be raised and lowered, kind of like he did because of his appearance. Now, taking a close look at the
helicopter comes pre-crash.
That is for a triple changer. Not too much extra kibble, like coming off. And again, it's a triple changer, so it's got the robot, the car mode, and the helicopter mode.
The helicopter is pre-crash.
We'll send the third party so homage to the helicopter. However, that being said, I mean,
I just keep saying it until I get more laughs. I keep cracking the joke.
Yeah.
Color me absolutely impressed to create the triple changer here. Now, Metagate is also working on a brand new masterpiece scale Air King or an homage to Beast Wars Pterosaur. So this I find very, very exciting. You have a nice full color model here to go off of. And we actually have a prototype picture.
This was the highest attended TFCON in history, they said.
Yeah, I was noticing that in the last panel when they were saying, in terms of the attendance.
Yeah. It was really high. So that very last panel you saw, the second last panel you saw, maybe we'll get to it. It was the organizer, and
Yes.
he was saying it was record highs. When I showed up on Saturday, it's still up until noon, up until 1 p.m. The line was like the whole hallway long, people registering. So it was amazing, and Peter Cullen really turned out. So yeah, we'll get to the Peter Cullen stuff after, but it was pretty good.
Soon. Now they expect this to come out before the end of the year. Now, that being said, third-party release dates can be hit and miss. So take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, grain of salt. So I'm really excited to see that. Really nice details. Look at the skin texturing as well. It's just beautiful.
This is, of course, what Anthony's into.
Now, Renegade is also going to be doing kind of a smaller Bumblebee-style movie.
Nice.
Homage to Optimus, homage to Bumblebee. These are going to be kind of in legend scale. So being smaller figures, I had to give them big names. So we have Huge Fire, and we have Giant B. Giant B coming in at 7.5 centimeters. Just cute little guys.
Huge Fire and
All right, the next company is Transform and Roll Out. Now these guys have kind of been off the radar for a little bit. You might remember a release from a couple years ago that was a homage to Jazz, G1 Jazz. I believe they called it Meister. I can't believe they got away with that.
It was good.
But they're coming back. They're coming back in a big way. And the product they have that I'm going to show you next is actually going out to reviewers now. So they do have finished products. So when I say this is coming out soon, this one is legit coming out very soon because they have sent completed versions out to some reviewers. So this next one is called Commander of Stars. ABS plastic, 24 centimeters or about 9.5 inches. The vehicle mode will be 36 centimeters or 42 and a bit inches long. And this one is coming soon. Now, obviously, this is an homage to Transformerscybertron Optimus or Galaxy Force Convoy. Here it is in beautiful truck mode. You got some chrome right in the middle there that I believe will form his kneecaps.
I'm not a fan of that truck mode, though.
What's that?
Nice
I'm not a
figure.
fan of that truck mode.
Very reminiscent of the original toy.
Did you watch the show?
But like with some other.
No, I never had a chance to get into the show.
Wait, so Transformers Cybertron. Now I don't even know what that is. Is that a show or is that a video game?
That's a show.
Okay, so I don't even know that show. It's not Cyberverse though, right? It's not
Actually. Sorry, no. I think Cybertron may be a game.
I think
Cyberverse is the show.
Right. So that's that kids show, that's exactly the same thought that I had. You and I, those old G1 heads, we don't know this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting, what's cool, is that they're making these masterpiece scale and style figures for these other brands or these other, what do you want to call them, other aspects of the franchise.
Right. Yes.
And even though I don't personally recognize or have a connection to this model of Optimus Prime, you're saying you don't like the truck mode that much, but looking at the detail, what's cool about it is that just the level of detail of like taking this cartoonish. Well, actually, I think if it is from the video games, those video games were not cartoonish, right?
Right.
Those video games were actually highly what I don't know if you want to say real world, but yeah, like real world in a mech sense, right? In a sci-fi mech sense designs. So the fact that they're doing this in Masterpiece, expanding beyond the G1 is pretty cool.
Which I mean, which I know I believe we had spoken last week or the week before, where it's good that it's like now the younger fans or the later iterations of the franchise is now getting Masterpiece scale figures, but are they within that age range to afford those figures?
Yeah, well, I guess we will see, but it's also cool that I said it's expanding past G1, but we have already seen Masterpiece they started doing these the Masterpiece versions of the Bay movies, right?
Right.
But so they were doing the G1 and the Bay movies, but I wasn't interested in any of the Bayverse stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now that they're doing stuff which is, you know, not, and they were also doing the IDW, which is cool. And I think this sort of fits with more of the IDW stuff, more of the like the stuff that is for the more sophisticated collector. So even though it's for younger collectors, it's for the more sophisticated collector, people who have discerning taste. Of course, people with discerning taste are not collecting any Bayverse shit. So that's why it's nice to see this. Let's keep going.
Other features in add-ons. Now, I don't know how big that bottle is.
Yummy.
Because I've never heard of that product. Okay, if you have, that gives you an idea of the size comparison. Okay, so I'm getting the bottle is about that big.
Better to taste it than to hear it.
Here it is in space trucking mode. For all the Deep Purple fans out there.
Pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it sounds like an 80s movie.
Did you see the wings do have an articulated point? They can kind of pop up just like that.
Totally. Space balls, space truckers.
Space truckers.
You will see, so here's the standard figure, here's a figure with a weapon. The weapon does have a light up feature, as does the matrix within the chest of this third-party figure, which is really cool, I think. But that's not all. Obviously, the back piece can become kind of like a mobile attack kind of unit. You can combine with that to become his super mode. You do have the opening kind of blaster on its left side.
Officially just popped off
and
my
the traditional
bracelet.
blaster on the right side. But take a look at some of the articulations.
You're done for the weekend.
I'm done for the weekend. The conference is officially done.
Guns that come up underneath the figure's arms. Look at the joinery there. Look at the different like.
One guy complained at the end, and when we were doing the Q&A with the organizer, one of the guys who's I think he's part of Realm of Collectors, and he said he's like, oh, it was great, you know, as usual. Congratulations on a wonderful conference. And then he berated the guy for what was obviously the third or fourth time he's done it. He said, except you didn't give us lanyards, and we like to collect lanyards, and we like to have the memories of like, you know, I went to TFCON, you know, 2020, and here's my lanyard, and I remember when I saw my friends there and what I got into and whatever. And this year they didn't give us lanyards. We just had these, you know, sucky bracelets that nobody likes to wear.
Right.
So obviously they're using the bracelets instead of the lanyards because one, it's more economical, and two, you can't pass a bracelet to somebody else, you know, so not as easily. But yeah, it's always, it is nicer to have the lanyards.
Oh, totally. I mean, for any, you know, conference or event, you want that you want that you know, just as a keepsake.
Exactly. And they didn't have those, but they did have the bags, and I got you an extra one. So when I come to Toronto,
nice,
I got a bag for you, so you can feel like you were there.
Nice.
Really cool poses with this figure. So just they really ramped up the articulation compared to the original mass product release. Yeah, just stunning. Now, obviously, one thing you will see omitted here is any kind of form of cyber key play. So there's no slots, there's no cyber keys that I can tell, just the core bot itself.
Somebody's really concerned about that.
They're all lost. Everybody misses them.
Yeah. And the guns can go under the arms like in the cartoon, but they can also, I believe, go over the shoulders as well. They are stacked behind and over the shoulder. Yeah, very intimidating, eh? Little demo video.
That was good.
I mean, I think if you watch the cartoon, that's going to make you want to buy the figure.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, coming very, very soon. Again, some reviewers are getting that in hand right now. And next is a classic X-Trans-Bots.
Primo X-Trans-Bots next to Fans Toys.
In the display cases.
X-Trans-Bots is probably the most prolific of all the third-party companies doing masterpiece scale Transformers.
Okay.
It's between X-Trans-Bots and Fans Toys, which company is the most active, doing the most sought-after figures. X-Trans-Bots, as you know, they have a pretty bad reputation for QC. There a lot of the figures come out and get poor reviews for floppiness or for joint tolerances or for breakage issues, but at the same time, it's not debatable that they have some of the best looking figures. So we went through some of them. I showed some of the test shots,
right?
That they showed them. Maybe we're going to see them now, but they do have some really cool things coming out. What I'm most excited about from them, of course, is their Constructicons.
Okay.
You'll see kind of their homage to like Runabout and Runamuck, and we're going to show you a couple of the newer releases that are just about to hit. This one's called Big Load. An homage to our Constructicon friend Long Haul, of course. Now this is just a beautiful, very clean looking robot. Nice alt mode as well. Now here it is next to Gravedigger, aka Scrapper.
You can see everybody's getting all excited.
Together.
Yep.
That the dump truck is just beautifully molded here. Nothing, it actually does have an empty kind of back.
Oh hey.
And here it is in one-legged pogo mode. Pogo stick mode. So more to come, obviously, in the near future. So we can see this full-on combiner fleshed out, hopefully pretty soon.
I hope so. I think it's a good way to go.
I don't have that one just yet. Yeah. The next up is a company called Magic Square. Now, Magic Square typically releases things that are a little bit smaller, again, kind of legend scale, which seems to be very, very popular with the third-party companies. Now, some of the things that other things that they released, they've also done some kind of masterpiece style homages to Optimus Prime. And the first one they have for me to show off today is a repaint of their Strongman figure, which is a Huffer homage. And this is going to feature new, kind of more metallic paint jobs. So you can see kind of that on the arms here especially. This one's coming in at only 8 centimeters tall. Now look at that face too, nice grimacing face, isn't it? A lot of flexibility, a lot of posability and articulation in this one, despite its small little stature.
This guy looks pretty good, but I got the new age one. I'm good with
Super nice.
Okay. Well, it's funny with the third-party names. I'm thinking one episode we'll just call it like third-party naming.
Yeah.
Just put up a character. First, word that comes to everyone's mind is what we'll name that character.
That could be good. And going through the reasoning of some of the third-party names. Sometimes the third-party names are not very creative, like, dump truck. They call them just dump truck. But other times they're, like Apollyon. They're using Greek gods and stuff like that. So there's some good names.
Okay.
We,
Yeah, but
we could do an episode on the best and worst third-party Transformer names.
ooh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Super playable, very clean looking. All right, so next up, and these are due out fairly soon. Again, this is a repaint, so these should be coming out in no time at all. And the next up is going to be another repaint of a recent release. Oh, they had a lot of pictures of this guy. And it's going to be a redo of the Blues figure, aka homage to G1 Jazz. Now this one, has the colors have been muted down a little bit to match the animation models a little bit more. And the windows have actually been turned into clear plastic for this release. So definitely make a really nice display piece. Again, you got the nice G1 cartoon accuracy there.
Yeah, that's my thing too.
Yeah, again, lots of points of articulation.
They are, yeah, they are.
Definitely great for playability, posability, and looking great on displays.
It does look nice though.
You can see the see-through windows there. Now this is a TFCON, this is a first reveal.
Wow.
The next figure they're working on is Meteorite. This is going to be a Legends scale homage to Skyfire, Jetfire, I don't know what you prefer to call them.
So we saw.
This is pretty exciting. We only have unpainted prototypes.
We were talking
here.
about the
I got a couple
New
of
Age.
comparison shots.
Hello.
Anthony.
Hey, it's real here today. You're looking at your recap.
Yeah. So here we are with this was just revealed yesterday to the world. We hadn't seen these pictures before of the Magic Square Jetfire. And this is their answer to the New Age Jetfire, which we talked about just recently on the show.
Yeah, I remember.
It's coming out for like $100, $120, something like that. So who knows what the Magic Square one is going to be. But that New Age one looks really awesome to me. So, it's difficult to compare the unpainted to the painted. But, we'll see how this battle pans out.
What I really want them to see is the Magic Square is doing a huffer, right?
Yeah, we just showed that a minute ago. Yeah.
Yeah. What I was going to say, like, I want to see them do the same thing that X-Transbots and iGear did and repaint them up as Erector, because huffer in yellow as Erector is like a tradition at this point. And I have the other two. For some reason, I guess that's a thing I collect. So, like, if they do them up in those colors, probably as a TFCon exclusive, I'll get it.
Now, what are the Erector colors?
Let me get one of them. Yeah. This is the iGear one. So it's yellow, gray, a little bit of like orangey red.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
this is
that's totally
iGear's huffer done up in those colors, and X-Transbots did theirs. And I saw the Magic Square one, and I'm like, they should do this out of that.
Right. So there's also the one that I have in my collection is the New Age one. They also did a tiny huffer. So so maybe if these guys don't do it, if Magic Square doesn't do it, there's always the possibility that New Age could do it as well.
It's an internal reference because TFCon those have all been TFCon exclusives, and there was a customization class figure like a TFCon or two ago where you could take Kingdom Huffer and turn him into it with a 3D printed head.
Nice. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see it.
And all condenses into a little vehicle mode there.
Yeah,
Super nice.
it was the
super
vehicle
playable.
mode because it looks exactly like this
Very
guy's
clean.
vehicle mode that made me think that.
Ben, let's go forward a minute or two to get to Jetfire.
All right, so next.
There you go.
This is a TFCon, this is a first reveal. The next figure they're working on is Meteorite. This is going to be a Legends scale homage to Skyfire, Jetfire, I don't know what you prefer to call them. This is pretty exciting. We only have unpainted
I like that they call them
prototypes here.
homages. That's how they're getting around this.
Shots. I'm going to show you how big this figure is.
I mean, they are homages.
Yeah.
They're homages for profit. Looks good.
Yeah. Just this, there was the vehicle mode because this looks like the same as what they were doing that made me think of it.
Yeah, it looks identical. Yeah.
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 So it's like
I
these
guess.
colors, please.
Releases. So very nice, very clean looking robot here. Tons of posability and articulation. Look at the knee joints, man, that's nice detail.
Looks good.
So here it is in comparison to the homage to Starscream. So nice, you expected it to be bigger, right?
I immediately love this presenter. He's good at
that it can hold
Yeah, he's very good. He's very good.
He's good at like working the crowd and also being like, "Ooh, look at this! Check that out."
Yeah. Sometimes you have the presenters and they don't know much about the figures that they're presenting.
Yeah.
But this guy knows all the companies well. He knows the figures well. So yeah, he's doing a great job.
homage, but it also has fully articulated hands as well to hold weapons or make a fist.
I don't think that's true. I don't think it has fully articulated hands. I think it just has articulated hands.
Yeah, to me, fully means all of this. A lot of these guys just have like mitten joints.
Yeah, I think this is just mitten joints. Because we're talking about legend scale, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he said fully articulated hands. I think he misspoke. I think he just means it actually has like a joint on the hand, which is unusual for legends.
Now you'll see here that the mask has switched, so kind of reminiscent of like the classics kind of battle mask. Size comparison with the Nemesis Prime and Megatron homages from the same company. And here it is in jet mode. You got to put it beside the Starscream homage as well.
That looks like the right size for right from the cartoon. See him flying around.
Yeah.
As well. Just beautifully. I cannot wait to see this in full color. And again, you guys are the first to see this in the world right now.
Look at that. Even the cockpit opens for a legends figure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have Iron Factory. Now, Iron Factory, you probably know them recently for their Legend
Story
Scale
history.
Samurai series. So their homage to Grimlock, beautiful. I've got it at home. So what's up next? Yeah, the Tetsumi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Their homage to Ironhide. And as you'd expect from a great Autobot warrior, this is just chock full of details, articulation, and lots.
This is such a niche thing. Legend scale samurai guys.
Or just under.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, what is the concept or idea behind making the samurai characters? Like, is it Bayverse related or just an idea of its own?
Yeah, it's just their own thing.
Yeah.
That Iron Factory is doing, just a creative thing that this company is doing, and I think it's awesome that they're able to do it and be successful, because lots of people have these ideas of like, oh, I'm just going to do my own little cool thing, and then it doesn't take off because there isn't media related, But this, there must be an audience. There must be enough people buying them. They're able to do it, and I'm really glad they are, because even though I don't have the money or space to just have a whole new random collection and stuff like this. It's good that it's out there, and I think when I do the third panel, the dealer room thing, I show the display of all these guys. I don't know, maybe there's 10 of them or whatever, and they look really awesome together.
Yeah, I'm just impressed that these are still going.
Yeah, exactly. So clearly they have found a market for them, because they've made a lot of them, and they're still running with them. So it's pretty awesome.
4 inches. It comes with a blade. It comes with a very traditional samurai shotgun. I've seen that in paintings before.
Very traditional.
Katana, of course. It comes with.
All right, here we are, dealer room, TFCON Chicago 2022. I'm having deja vu.
Rather than do the dealer room now, let's go to part 3 of the panel.
I like how this is an American hotel, but I'm like, hotels is the same, because I'm like, this looks exactly like the Canadian one.
Yeah, Yeah, and it's put on by. I mean, it's put on by the same organizers, right? So maybe they
Yeah.
do the layout in a similar kind of way.
Yeah. Oh, since I presumably we've already gone over these, what is the deal with those little nanobots that they were started the panel off with?
Yeah. So that's I was talking a little bit about that before you came on. But it's by Half the Battle Toys, as you know, which is a startup company by an enthusiast like us. You know, somebody who just like me talks about doing all this 3D modeling, but this is a guy who's actually doing it. And I've actually talked to him. I met him on the Cybertron Cafe on Facebook years ago, and I've been tracking the development of his company. And they still haven't released those nanobots, except like they've done. You know, he's printed a few of them and sold a few, but they're still in development. But he's not just 3D printing stuff. He's actually designing techniques and creating techniques to 3D print items with better articulation and better detail than you can even get on a regular plastic molded, regular injection molded model. So those nanobots, as we were just talking about, the small ones are basically 3.5 centimeters.
Yeah.
So they're extremely tiny. One of the pictures, you see it in the guy's palm, the cliff jumper, and it's like just a speck in his palm. It's like so incredible. So, I mean, it's not value for dollar in terms of plastic, right? But what you're paying for is the engineering and the iterations that he's going through to be able to make them so small and yet still posable.
Yeah. Real quick, the two other things that presumably we've already talked about. That pterosaur, that third-party pterosaur by Metagate, I'm like, doesn't look great, but they're trying to replicate the impossible transformation the TV show model has. So I'm like, props for trying.
Okay.
But you're saying it doesn't look great? I
don't think it looks great, but I'm like, it's an impossible transformation. So props for the attempt.
Props for that. Fair enough.
And also, I'm unclear on what the deal is with this Bumblebee Optimus and Bumblebee that came a couple slides later.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think what's new about that is we're getting like a true to screen versions of them, like masterpiece detail level, but it's in a legend scale, and I don't think we've seen seen a lot
those
of
are legend scale.
Yeah, that's what's new about it, and then that's the joke of calling it like Big Fire and whatever Giant V.
Yeah,
and they're actually legend scale.
Okay, see, I could get into that. I'm like, I have basically the whole Studio Series scale for that line. I'm like the masterpiece ones don't do much for you, but like little legends of those guys, that appeals to me.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of you both when I saw the pterosaur, when I saw those.
Yeah. Okay, so those were my. We can proceed.
All right.
Yeah.
You can expect that we'll probably eventually get a raptor homage. Maybe not as weapon based. I think my friend Ryan, who put together this presentation, was speculating it'd come with some kind of like monk staff or something to show that it was a healer, whereas as the Ironheart homage tends to be
healer. Let me beat you with my monk staff.
Now let's see what that alt mode looks like. I don't know what to call this. So I'm going to throw out 3 different names here. A samurai van, a battle wagon, or a war chariot. But
like samurai van the best.
My first thought was, man, that could make a good Turtles van. Yep. So send these guys some emails. Let them know. I mean, I think that would make a great Turtles crossover. Now that van right there is not looking very well armed. Until you strap all the different weapons on. And then you do not want to get near this guy on the highway. Now Iron Factory has also got Hometown Watcher coming out, a 10cm homage to Huffer, and at this point, man,
paint it yellow.
Huffer is getting a lot of love.
So I like this Huffer. So I don't buy the samurai stuff from Iron Factory. But I do buy most of their G1 guys. and I really like this Huffer. I think I'm in on this Huffer and the Sea Spray, which they had on display here.
Yeah, I liked his alternate mode because it looks like it comes from more than meets the eye, despite Huffer not having appeared in that because it fits the aesthetic.
Oh, nice. And so yeah, like I love, you'll see the way they do these G1 guys. If you've looked at them before, is I think they strike a really neat balance between, like, basically a lot of these are sort of like Earth modes with like a Cybertronian influence, or else it's a Cybertronian mode for the alt modes. So they're, you know, it is like sort of what they do here, unlike with the samurai aesthetic, is it's like you know, they take the G1 robot and make it more like, make it look more real world, you know, which has always been my thing, right? Because even I said when I was watching the cartoon as a little kid, you know, I was watching it with those goggles. I was imagining the characters, you know, as real world robots. So that's why I'm not a big fan of the Toon Color versions, because in my mind, I always want them to be chrome. I always want them to look metallic, because I want them to look like the way these things would look if they were real. And I think that's sort of the aesthetic that that Iron Factory goes for.
Yeah.
I'd say it was funny with that, because you know, you want to imagine, or like you imagine the vehicle modes existing in the real world, and I think maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, I saw a couple construction vehicles that were green, and they had Decepticon symbols on them.
Nice.
And I'm like, whoever owns that company, you know, has to be a fan to have done that. And I'm like, this is the size of what the Constructicons would be in real life, and that's how they would look.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
From the third-party companies right now. This is the third homage Huffer figure that we've shown today. Now this guy is just, again...
Is Huffer the new Constructicons and the new Dinobots?
This one's going to come with different fist options as well. So you can have closed fist, Kingdom, and Earthrise.
Let's see the part 3. Let me find part 4. Good thing for playlists.
Yeah. It's irritating that YouTube doesn't automatically put them in order, you know, based on the names, right? And even though I uploaded them in order, when you do because I uploaded them in bulk, and then YouTube just sort of like randomly put them in a random order.
Well, yeah, because I put them all in the playlist. Like I just selected to move them in there. But I think I can rearrange them afterwards.
Okay, you can rearrange them as they're going on. Yeah.
There we go.
I don't know if this has been shown or not, but this
Finally.
Is, the only name I have
So this
from
is-
Ryan so far is FT30.
This is what I'm most this, and then the next thing they show is what I'm most excited about. So here we are. We've got the fans. This is Fans Toys now here.
Fans Toys, yeah.
Maybe we did. That's weird. I guess we missed a few seconds. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead.
30, and this is going to be a group of combining robots homaging G1 Superion.
So here, let me do
Now
this for anybody who doesn't know. So the first 3 aerial bots have been released by Fans Toys. They were released a long time ago, and then they released a bunch of other figures before completing both the Superion and the Menasor. So it's worse with Menasor. With the Stunticons, they released 4 figures, including Motormaster, and then the last figure, it's been like more than a year. They haven't released that figure, and they haven't released the combiner parts, or shown us even any models of the combiner parts. So, you know, the theory is that, you know, they put out these heavy bots with a lot of die cast in them, and they haven't released the leg bots for Superion, right? So it's the top 3 bots. And then they realize that they're too heavy, and then the engineering is not working for the combiner. That's our theory as to why it's been so long.
Right.
So we're really happy. So what we saw yesterday, what you're about to see now, is this is the first reveal of these legs, and we're seeing what like how the combiner parts actually work. So I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. We're about to see it right now. What they do with those combiner parts, and it's really cool what they do with Superior.
Set is going to be full of tons of details. Now you'll see, and I'll actually show comparisons later. But the first shot I showed you is going to have there's going to be different parts, so you can have different versions of this robot. One that's toy accurate and one that's cartoon accurate. Now, what's really cool is that all of the extra parts of this combining robot.
Oh, that's what that is.
Display all 5 jets at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's
And you will see more of those jet pictures.
Because what are you going to do? You can't make a trailer out of it the way they do with Motormaster, right? So what they decided to do is make all the extra parts turn into flight stands for each of the jets.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
That's genius.
Lots of detail, lots of amazing sculpting. I believe this is somewhat like around masterpiece scale, but we don't have the exact heights of these just yet.
It's basically 20 inches.
There's more with the flight stand. Awesome display. You can see that every jet has different intakes. So they really did a number on making each jet pretty unique looking.
And you guys know.
I just really love the ingenuity of creating the flight stand.
As we saw in our collection critiques, a lot of people who are serious about fans toys, they buy 2 or 3 copies at a time. So,
so this is going to see use.
Yeah, exactly. Like people are gonna, you're gonna want your bot mode, you're gonna want your combined mode, and now this is giving you a reason to, a way to really display it in alt mode. So that was clever of fans toys to do it like this.
Well, I was gonna say, out of out of third-party companies, has there ever been that fear, or has a situation occurred, especially for a combiner, where they release like a certain amount of those figures, and then either the company just ceases to exist, or they don't release the rest of them, which then creates the issue you can't really sell these figures because no one's going to want them, knowing they can't combine. With the missing figures.
Yeah, I think there's been some scares like that where it looked like a combiner wasn't going to get complete, but for most of the ones I know about, they all did get completed.
Okay,
I'd be interested if that ever happened.
But there are series and sets, that don't ever get finished, right? Like, for instance, Make Toys Make Toys looked like they went out of business. And now they're coming back because it's been in the Transformers news that they're coming back and they are going to keep doing new figures. But they had officially closed their doors. They said they're not doing anything other than repainting the stickers and stuff. And Make Toys put out 2 of the 4 Autobot Headmasters. So they did Chrome Dome and they did Hardhead, very well reviewed figures. But then they never did and then they showed models of the other 2, Brainstorm and Highbrow. Yeah. But it was pretty clear that those 2 guys were never going to get made. So now they've said that they are going to come out and make those characters. But that's an example of one where we didn't think we were going to get them.
Right.
There's a few other examples like that. Also, Make Toys did Contact Shot, which is their point blank, and that point blank masterpiece scale is really great. But the rest of those Target Masters, if Make Toys went out of business, no option, and we've never seen anybody announce those. So there are examples.
If I may include a side thing for a second. There's a Twitter account out there that's recently started out that's all about stuff like this. It's called Crazy Ass History of Third Party Transformers. And it's at 3PTF Moments. And it just goes through old third party releases and talks about them in a historical context. It's really interesting.
Nice.
You might get a kick out of it.
Oh, so, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, so when you were have any combiners ever not, been fully released? I was I don't know, but I bet that they would know that account because they're historians about it.
Yeah. Well, the other one, for instance, Generation Toy, I don't know, within the last 6 months, or within this past year anyway, finally released their hotspot. And for the longest time, that Devastator set, that the Protectobot set, they had released the 4 Limbots, and then it was a good year or two. You know, they were coming out with them regularly, and then there was silence on the hotspot. So people had bought those limbs, and then it's like, are we ever going to get this hotspot? And finally, it came out.
So
all the kind of the combiner kits.
Oh, sorry.
I just said that's a relief for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So and I didn't. I'm not in on that one because that's a 15-inch scale. But the Ocular Max is going to show. MMC is also Ocular Max. They're going to show their Protectobots. They got the next one coming out as well. And I'm in on that set. I got the first one.
I've seen that before.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Above. Okay, and here's a different option. So you see kind of toy version, cartoon version. So the toy version on the right-hand side with the smaller gun, with the open faceplate, and then cartoon version with the closed faceplate and the shoulder kind of mounted, the shoulder kind of length gun there. And different chest pieces as well. So you can really, make it your own.
I don't see what's different about the shoulders.
Fully articulated hands, and it looks like it's going to be coming with a couple extra face plates for the open face kind of option. So here we have Superion screaming his love probably for his fellow Transformers. Now they've also got a figure coming up called Mars.
So this right here.
Now this is.
So this right here.
Yeah.
To me, this is the biggest reveal of the convention. You'll see why. If you don't know why.
I think I have an idea why.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm going to spoil it with what I comment on here, and I say it, as I'm heckling in the crowd. But for a long time, people debated, like, is Fans Toys ever going to do an Optimus Prime?
Yeah.
But now, obviously, if they're doing this, they're obviously going to repaint it and do an Optimus Prime. So
yeah.
So it's 2 reveals. One, we finally get a masterpiece scale armor style Ultra Magnus, and then 2, what this tells us is that we're finally going to get a Fans Toys Optimus Prime after all these years. So when Fans Toys some years ago said that they are going to do the entire ARC crew, and we were excited to hear that because there are some people who only collect Fans Toys, right? And I've always said when people say they only collect Fans Toys, I'm like, doesn't make sense because you're never going to get a full cast. But now it's clear we are going to get a full cast from it. So it's pretty awesome.
So this is going to be part of a subline called Fantastic Model. Now, this is going to be a masterpiece style homage to Ultra Magnus, of course. There is going to be lots of different options. Very clean looking figure. No butt flap that you might have seen in like a masterpiece review.
The other and the reason why they're calling this Fantastic Model, my theory, why they're not calling it Fans Toys is precisely that, because it said it's a subline. What else is going to be in that subline? Optimus Prime, and that's why they're giving it a subline, because whenever they do a character where they're worried about the copyright claim, or worried about maybe Takara coming after them, as with the Soundwave, they give it a different name. They don't call it Fans Toys. And so I think the reason why they've made this one as a subline is so they can release the Optimus Prime as also Fantastic Model. And then if Takara or Hasbro decides to go after them, they're going after Fantastic Model, not going after Fans Toys.
Our figure come out. Lots of different posability options here. And this one is teeming with extra goodies as well. So wait till you see one of the next pictures I'm going to show you.
So this guy is just like building up.
Yeah.
Right.
Different faceplate options. You can see we have an open mouth there on the middle picture. Look how clean the back is as well.
Is it armor?
Just beautiful. Not gonna clutter too much up on your shelf.
I think there's an Optimus.
But here's some of the different head options.
Way cleaner on the back.
So you got like grimacing face, screaming face, happy face, sad face. Look at that last one though.
Does he have the sunglasses
kind of
face?
Shattered, revealing the core bot on the inside of Magnus armor.
Here you have the cameraman getting a little lazy.
And what that means is,
Sorry?
and here it is
I said here you have the cameraman getting a little lazy.
on the figure. Great kind of like awesome battle damaged Magnus figure. But there is a fully articulated car robot inside.
There you go.
So look at that. Armor comes off. You got a fully articulated robot from the inside forming the cab of the truck.
Optimus Prime.
So I guess it's really interesting that they're doing the Optimus before the Magnus. I mean, the Magnus before the Optimus, eh?
Yeah, that is very interesting that they're doing it that way.
No, I just have to rewind that.
Magnus figure.
Yeah,
But
it's
there
like
is a fully articulated car robot inside.
that was good.
So look at that. Armor comes off. You got a fully articulated robot from the inside forming the cab of the truck.
Optimus Prime.
And just as clean as the bigger robot with armor strapped on. Just nice curves, great articulation it looks like.
I didn't think they'd
Nice
There's no curves on Optimus. He's all rectangles.
Yeah.
That's how the design's supposed to be, though.
It's a very, very posable here. Okay, so next.
They should have saved that to the end.
Yeah.
That should have been last.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like, where do we go from here?
A major warrior here. Now,
All right,
Okay,
so
see, that was 4. Let's find 5.
yeah. So really, I don't know why they didn't save that to the end, because those two reveals were that's what I came to see. Is I'm happy that we are getting the Superion, finally get that completed, and then to see that Magnus, that looks awesome.
Which company does that other version of the aerial bots where it's it looks like pewter and it's extremely detailed and large?
I think it's called Dream something.
Okay.
You know, Anthony? Dream Studio.
Like that. Yeah, it was something weird like that because it wasn't one of the standard ones.
Yeah, and they've released 2 jets so far.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The criticism is, and I agree with the criticism, even when you do something hyper stylized, it is still possible to retain elements of the characters themselves. Mm-hmm. And the critique of that Superion is neither the Superion nor the individual robots really, like the first one they did was Slingshot, and there's nothing about that silver jet that is reminiscent of Slingshot at all. Mm-hmm. So they could have, like what Bobby was saying, is they could have made the head sculpt look like, the same character, which I don't know why they didn't do that. Like that seems like a missed opportunity to me.
Yeah, that's true.
It's almost like it's not even like it's the aerial bots. It's like it's another set of Autobot jets that transform into a Superion-like character. So that's I think that's one legitimate criticism. But but the fact that they're making them very real world and real sophisticated design, I love all of that. And what's interesting is that the best Superion that's out right now for Masterpiece scale is the Zeta Toys Superion, and that's what all of us who collect Masterpiece, that's what we have as our Superion right now. And the Fans Toys one that we've just seen is an interesting middle ground between these two, because the Zeta one is very simple. It's very tune accurate. It's very simplistic design. And then this one that we just saw here, the Fans Toys, it's a more sophisticated design. There's a lot more detail, but it's still, clearly representing our G1 characters that we know, right? And that distinguishes it from this, whatever the other company is, Dream Studios, I'll call it. So here we are with New Age, and as you guys know, New Age is my Legends Legends brand of preference. You know, I pick and choose per character, and I don't have. This is their the first Transformer that New Age came out with was a Bumblebee. It was called
Flipper.
Flipper. Thank you. Yeah, and so Flipper is my Legends Bumblebee. And then they did a version 2.0, and this set here is their 2.0, which they just recolored. But I didn't bother going for the 2.0. I was fine with the Flipper.
I find the name Herbie for Bumblebee quite funny. They use that reference.
And whenever they recolor him, when they do the Herbie design, then I'll buy that.
Yes.
Here they are in kind of more rusted vehicle mode. Again, these are legend scale, nice little pocket figures here. They're going to be doing the same thing, of course, for the Autobot and Decepticon leader homages with Agamemnon, the Megatron homage, and of course David, the Optimus homage.
Here, let me show you
of course, these will be.
This is the necklace that I was wearing to celebrate TFCON. And this is my Agamemnon. So this is the same character that they're showing right now. This is the New Age Megatron, but this is obviously the toy colors.
Mm-hmm.
My preferred colors, as we've discussed. And I just put it on a chain, which I got the chain from Hobby Lobby.
Nice.
And I've been wearing that as my necklace. And then I also picked up this T-shirt.
Van Hollen.
Van Hollen.
Nice.
Yes, I got that. And here, let me show you. I got one other one. I picked this up from, I think his name is Michael Kincaid, who's also, he had his booth, he's selling his art, and he also has a Transformers channel.
Wow, okay.
Okay, that's that pun at the bottom, it takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Unichronic, and then it says at the bottom, your bargaining posture is highly dubious.
Just like, hey, Phase Man on Twitch is saying, "Hey there, guys, it's childreofprimus." Hi, Phase Man.
What's good, Phase Man 81? Glad to have you with us.
Yeah.
Were you at the TFCON Chicago or possibly Toronto? How are you doing?
Yeah, and Phase Man, tell us what your favorite reveal is so far of everything we've been looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Figures they come with
This
so
is my
many
Agamemnon,
different,
which is not wet.
little add-ons.
I think mine looks better.
And extras.
So these are just like metallic repaints, basically, right?
And again, just
These are actually the comic repaints.
Oh, comic repaints. Okay.
Yeah, and I saw them in the display case as well. I show them when we get to the dealer room. You'll see them in real life, and they look exquisite. The paint is just so good. That's what New Age does, better than anybody else consistently is amazing paint jobs. Phase Man 81 says, "Whoop, Dinobots, good thanks, Toronto. You interviewed me. I haven't seen any or missed the reveals." Okay, well, thanks for joining us, Phase Man. You can rewind and watch the rest later, but we're going through the reveals here.
Yeah.
That's dope that they interviewed you. And I saw a couple guys who were at Toronto, and they were interviewed by you guys. So when Orlati comes on, I'll mention some of that because I got some shout outs to you guys from Chicago to Toronto.
Cool. And I remember Phase Man because we've been releasing clips like weekly or almost bi-weekly just in terms of my schedule. So I believe Phase Man's clips are supposed to be next week. Actually, sorry, the week after, because there's one we have Colin next week, and then he's the following week.
Cool.
Did you guys go to Chicago? They say he has his follow up.
Yeah.
While it might seem like we're all there, I believe only the professor made it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but we are everywhere.
Yes.
That's the plan. All right, let's keep going.
those nice weather looks for those robot and the alt modes as well. Now those, expect those to probably drop pretty soon because they are releases of pre-existing figures. Now here's some more love for one of our fan favorites, Ultra Magnus. They're going to be doing a re-release of Octavian. Now this is going to be in more toy-accurate colors.
Ah, so the bright blue.
So really homaging the
Yeah,
Ultra Magnus.
this one I'm not a
figure
fan of this
from,
coloration because I
80s.
thought the first coloration was really where it was at. You know, so the first coloration they did sort of a shinier paint. Now they've done the more muted colors to match the cartoon, which is not my thing, but it's, you know, it's for the people who that's what they're into.
With lots of articulation options.
But this is a great model.
And that's not the only Octavian we're going to be getting. We're also going to be getting a translucent version of Octavian because, hey, why not? Looks great, especially when you put it in robot mode.
Nice.
All right.
Phase Man is asking, this is by Masterpiece. I like the first release. So, no, Phase Man, what we just saw right here. So earlier, Fans Toys just showed us that they are making a Masterpiece scale Ultra Magnus that does armor up, and then you take the armor off and you got the Optimus Prime there. But what we're seeing here, what we just finished looking at, is the New Age version. The New Age Ultra Magnus there is a Legend scale. And now we're moving into Fans Hobby. Everything from Fans Hobby is all Masterpiece scale.
Next up is Fans Hobbies. So, okay, so what do they got up for?
Let me load in part 6.
Oh wait, hold on. Look at that one right there, that part 4. Did we? Oh, that was the beginning again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So are we going to part 5 or part 6?
6.
Okay, so this is the last one.
Weekend. Probably the biggest,
Oh yeah, the exclusive.
most like awesome looking exclusive we've probably ever had. That's got to be the
This
biggest.
is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if
It's not just
we're
powered
making this thing
convoy;
this
it's
week.
powered
Right
Jinrai.
on. Last time I was in the dealer room, I think they had 3 left. Now this one, obviously, okay, so I'm gonna break this one down. You get the Delta Baser, which is the core robot, that's the truck itself, and it has the combined mode with the trailer, and then you've got the Magna Bomber, which kind of trails behind the core trailer, that turns into its own robot, and that combines with the other robot to make an even larger robot, homaging another favorite character of ours. But then you get new blaster rifles, you get new shoulder cannons, new shoulder side cannons with optical spearhead missiles, Magna Bomber, blast cannon with optical shells, super combined mode head is all new to this release, and 2
awesome
power
set.
swords. So you have the core robot, we have the combined robot with the normal trailer,
Oh yeah, that looks nice.
kind of, homaging the Delta releases. And then when you combine it with
It's a
the
lot of
Magna
playability
Bomber,
right there.
you
Sorry?
I just said it's a lot of playability there, you know, and that one set, which I think it was like $350, was sold out by the time I showed up.
Yeah,
Wow.
I gotta say, didn't they say they had 3 left there during the panel?
Yeah, and that was a couple. That was like he said last time he checked, which was hours prior to that. By the time he said that, they were already sold out.
That's one case where like it's ludicrously expensive, but the amount of stuff in there seems like the price is worth it. You know?
Yeah. Like you're gonna spend a good amount of time messing with that, playing with that. You know, you're not gonna, you're gonna get your money's worth.
Didn't it come with some Diaclones? I thought I saw them too. Some little Diaclone men.
I'm not sure. He just listed off all the things. I didn't see the Diaclone characters.
I should see.
350 says Phase Man 81. 400 to 500 Canadian dollars almost.
500.
Yeah.
No, that's $500 easy.
Mhm.
500 Canadian. It's not 400.
You get that kind of that Delta Magnus kind of Diaclone reference right there. Just beautiful, very imposing on that shelf. And man, what a beast, an absolute beast of a TFCon exclusive. So this is available this weekend in very short supply as it is right now. Last time I was in the dealer room, there was only 3 left. Even the packaging looks badass. It was amazing.
Final bite.
Here it is with base mode, with the mini robots. You can put the mini robots in their little space there, and then you can actually see them through the chest window.
They do have the little back.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is a Diaclone shout-out, so that's why they included them.
Yeah, they got a bunch of them there. That's awesome.
Beautiful new Magnus-inspired head there. Delta Magnus-inspired head. Just gorgeous. And different shell spearheads, too. And they're going to be releasing a repainted version of their Ultra Naval Commander, which is an homage to Armada Prime. Armada Optimus Prime. This is going to be in the Power Links colors with the golden mini robot, aka Sparkplug. So expect that to drop soon, December 22nd, 2022, sorry. And because it's repainted, it should be out hitting those kind of web stores pretty soon, I would guess.
Here's what's interesting, I think. The rumor is going to, right now, because of some art that got shown, is that the next Commander class figure over in Legacy is going to be this guy also, Armada Optimus. Cool. But they never do repainted Commanders, so this version, which is like based on the Power Links one that they did like at the end of Armada, that's probably not going to see like the Commander, that if it is not going to get repainted into that. So this third-party one's probably going to be the only way to get that.
Awesome. Awesome, yeah, and you're never going to see it with more detail than this.
Yeah.
Like they obviously put a lot of love into these designs.
Yeah. Like this is the only the big deal here was this is the only time that they have attempted to do an Armada thing basically in like third-party history. So. Right.
And the fact that it's not just that they're doing it third-party, right? But it's not chug scale or whatever. Like
it's masterpiece.
They're going all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Now, of course, they're going to be.
That's a new one.
One more picture of Optimus. They're going to be doing that kind of treatment. The Power Links are going to be doing the Armada kind of Galvatron homage with their Ultra Meg Tyranno.
We all knew it was coming. That's nice to see. That's all I have to say. We all knew it was coming.
This is not my series either, but like these are examples of figures that look so good. That I could see people buying them who are not even into that series, right? Like, if I didn't have so many figures and so little space left, I'd be tempted to get these as well.
Yeah. Well, this is the period of time where anytime they did a new Megatron, it got a Galvatron repaint down the line. So these guys already did Masterpiece Armada Megatron. So this is them just announcing the Galvatron repaint, which is why I was like, we all knew this was going to happen because, but not only is it the simplest thing to do, but people want it because the people that are collecting this that have like Armada nostalgia were like, well, now we want the Galvatron repaint.
Yeah, and it looks great in those colors.
Yeah.
Armada Galvatron colors, and that's going to be coming out next year. Now here's a teaser image they gave us, and I wish I had more for you. But given the last 2 figures I just showed, and this wireframe here, it can be safe to assume that maybe those naval commanders are getting some kind of jet pants add-on.
Yeah.
I'd love if they called it jet pants. That'd be so great. Yeah, can't wait to see that. That's going to be really cool when that drops. That will also be 2023. Now on to Master Creation. Yeah, I remember these guys with giant Predacons like homage, and they got some really cool stuff coming out.
That was a teaser for Jetfire, basically, for Armada Jetfire, right? And I wonder if they're going to do the full 3-way combination because Jetfire could combine with Optimus, and then there was a third robot called Overload that could form a big weapons pack for him. So if they do that, then I want to see how big the final Masterpiece version of this like 3 giant robot combination is going to be.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure, as we just discussed, right? Like obviously they're not half-assing it, so they're going to go all the way. Yeah.
Oh, and there's the protector.
We're going into
So I mentioned this is the Protectobot set that I'm in on. So so the first release was the first aid, and now they're showing us what's the name of the cop?
Streetwise.
Yeah.
Streetwise, yeah. So the company that they're going head to head with here is X-Transbots. So X-Transbots is also releasing their Protectobots. But because of the whole thing that happened with the trailer and the X-Transbot stuff, I decided not to go in on that set. So I'm getting these Protectobots instead.
another kind of combining series. This first one is going to be called Navigant. This is a G1 Streetwise homage for the Protector bots.
I'm in.
And this is going to be really cool.
You're gonna say, I'm in.
It's all built in. There's no
Exactly.
extra kibble that you have to add to create mode. So Navigant will open right up and wrap around, assumingly the core robot, the hotspot kind of homage figures, wrap around their lower legs, kind of fleshing out to become the calf of the combined robot. So no extra kibble, no extra parts to make the combined version of this. Now here it is with the other release is going to be coming with that. It's going to be the first aid.
It looks really solid. Yeah.
Now we're getting close to the end. Here's a really cool figure. Now this one is again from Mastermind Creations, and this one is a heavy retool of their Death Source homage. And
That's a weird choice. I saw photos, but I didn't know it was a retool until he said it.
Yeah, it's well done though.
Mm-hmm.
Did a lot of work for this, and you're going to see kind of this homage in some of the later pictures here. This obviously is an homage to Double Dealer. So with that, it's got different modes. It's got the rolling tank mode. It's going to have its Power Masters. It's got the big giant missile there. Here is its bird of prey mode. I don't know if you want to call it a condor or a hawk or an eagle. But now you can definitely see the where they got the kind of the Deathsaurus kind of start and really retooled it really well to bring us this new Predator Nimbus.
Go birds!
Here's more bird mode. Bird of prey. And you'll see that obviously the Power Master fits nicely in the chest. You got a nice big sidearm there to go with the shoulder-mounted missile. And just a really nice profile of that.
It's so cool over there, yeah.
You know what, I've seen it
All right,
in reviews, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I don't need it. I see it there, I'm like, I must have it.
Remix. So RMX or Remix.
It's almost
they're
like the
bringing
hype
us
is doing its
the,
job.
The high fidelity die-cast stereo cassettes tapes. Now, here the first couple images are their core release of Tempo, aka homage to Steeljaw. Now, the amount of detail in this is just beautiful. Even though it's a tape former, it's got a lot of complexity to it. I really dig it. So the transformation, is definitely a little bit more complex than, first meets the eye. Now this one, we did have a version here at TFCON as an exclusive as well. I don't know if there's any left in the dealer room, but I'll show you a couple of shots of the exclusive. Oh, here it is, in kitty mode with a couple of his friends.
I definitely wanted to get this too, but it was all.
Here's the team.
Yeah, I like how they layer it to get the big mane. That's some interesting engineering.
Yeah, very cool. And so I have all their tapes that they've released so far. They've done Ravage, Rumble Frenzy, and the Condors.
Is there a blaster that these guys fit to?
No, because these what's cool about these is they are the size of actual cassettes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed that just from the image.
Yeah. But what's awesome about that is that although they don't scale in tape mode with any figure, they do scale in bot mode better because the problem is when the tapes transform out of the chest of Soundwave or a Blaster.
Right.
Those robots are never to scale, right? They're always too tiny. So what's neat about these is they scale with you in real life. They're the actual cassette size. Here's one, for example. And then this Ravage will actually scale nicely with your Masterpiece Soundwave.
Nice.
Yeah, it's too complicated for me to do here, but yeah, he changes into like a big cassette tape rather than a mini one.
Yeah.
TFCON exclusive came with exclusive packaging, so they really did a good number of that, and they did the gold chrome on the weapon / kind of the wings there. So really beautiful stuff, and I believe that did go pretty quick this weekend. So if you got one, good on you. Who here picked up this figure this weekend? Excellent, good on you, good on you. Now I believe that's all I have to show you guys, other than just, a couple more images of him.
He should have dropped something right at the end.
Beautiful release.
One more thing.
Yeah.
And that's all. He put on.
Yay.
So I'm not thanking myself. I didn't think the weekend last night. So thank you to Ryan Sheehy for putting this together. We wish he could have been here with us this weekend. We love him. We miss him. And thank you to all of you Transformers and third-party fans. I hope you enjoyed this panel. Check out the websites for later release of the slides. Up next, we have a legend himself. Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed the third-party release panel. Thank you.
A legend himself. The new age people, ladies and gentlemen.
So if you guys want to go on, we can see the legend himself, or we can go to the dealer room videos.
I'd be interested in seeing what the dealer room looks like.
Well, why don't we go to that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. First impressions. There we go.
I like this. Makes me feel like I went to the convention.
Yeah, that's the idea, right? To make anybody who couldn't be there. Hopefully, so you're like once removed from me being here, and then our viewers are twice removed.
Yeah.
So they can experience it vicariously through you. You experience it vicariously through me, and then our viewers experience it vicariously through you.
It really is the same, because Chosen Prime has previously done those exact same glowing display cases over in Canada some years.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's the exact same setup. They just pack it up and drive it over.
I've said before, I like it because it's like here's like a gigantic lineup of tons of giant expensive things that I will never own everything here, but you get to look at it in physically. It's like going to the zoo, but for robots.
No, exactly. And the first time, before I had my collection, that was my experience. I came and I saw that, and I said, one day this will all be mine. And I made it happen. So, and also you'll see Brendan from Chosen Prime here, and I think I do a little cameo with him.
Nice.
All right, here we are, dealer room, TFCON Chicago 2022. I'm having deja vu from the last time I was here.
Exact same shelves we use.
It's all very familiar, and so much fun to be back. I think I'm just gonna have to part with some money, even though there's no figures I need. I don't have a Apache. Yeah, even though it's old. Pitch, I just don't think he's better than X-Transbots. Not worth it. For me, I got this dude. I got this guy. I don't think it's worth paying the extra money to
first-person shooter where you don't have your gun, so you just have a karate chop.
Same with this guy. I got the Toy World. Whoa. Oh, Magic Square. Oh, I thought that was X-Transbots for a sec. I was going to say, I have to part with all my money for that. Anyway, I'm going to have to put away the camera so I can just enjoy the show myself. Oh, well, let's do a little... Chosen Prime always has the biggest, baddest display case setup.
I love these cases.
Yeah.
And look at that. Look at the New Age Grimlock toy version. So dope. And the comic version of Optimus Prime back there. beautifully painted. That is so dope. And this, I wasn't gonna get this Devastator, but I do love the box. It's $200
G2
for the
Devastator.
set on Show Z. I don't know how much it is at Chosen Prime, so it's gonna be a little bit more. Whoa, look at the comic Megatron. Look at the paint on that. And that's the same figure that I'm wearing here as my necklace today. New Age Agamemnon.
Well, there's the comic colors.
Very dope paint.
Like, I feel like we should be commenting, but I'm like, I just want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you able to make out what I'm saying? It sounds.
Oh
pretty-
yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
can make
really
it out.
clear.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's that Megatron and the comic color was on the other side that we just saw revealed. In the panel. And what I was just saying there is, although I didn't buy that the Constructicons as they were coming out in the individual pieces, now that they did the box set, as we've talked about many times on the show, I'm a sucker for those G1 homage boxes.
And then there's David, which I also don't have.
David.
$120, basically masterpiece price. But it is
Should have called him Peter.
a masterpiece in another
Yeah, that
damn
would've
way.
been better. I don't know where they got David from. I don't know what the joke is there.
Yeah. Their Optimus and the Megatron should have just been New Age Peter and New Age Frank.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just surprised at David and Goliath.
Oh,
Yeah, which would make sense maybe if they called Devastator Goliath, then it would make sense. So I don't know. I don't know what the logic was.
Hey, Brandon, we still have the
Very dope.
Death Source.
There's Brandon himself, Chosen Prime, the man behind the great Chosen Prime Enterprise.
Oof. That's shiny.
These are non-transforming Transformers, so don't get too excited, but very amazing though. Ultra metals, I think. TFC Hades. Bobby says it's a terrible figure. But
Just hating on
does
everything in the
present very
display
nice.
case.
Still looks great.
Bobby says this sucks. Don't buy it.
Yeah. Trash.
Oh, I didn't get the Magic Square stuff. Sculpt, as always, is amazing, but I just don't like the lack of paint as compared to these guys.
I like the
Way
serpentine
fucking
arm on the waist.
And down here, oh, that looks good. That Beachcomber looks good. I skipped him. I think I skipped that guy. I ordered the Power Glide. Haven't opened it. I have the Mirage. He's awesome. But I think I gotta get these other guys that I was planning to skip.
Yeah, that black card there looks like that new version of the Batmobile.
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Things that only I noticed. The really nice looking Transmetal Megatron right there from Beast Wars.
Where is he?
Okay.
Oh yeah, right there.
On the left. Yeah. Is that Legend scale?
Yeah, all that stuff is legend scale. So what I'm saying there is, so that Mirage in the center of the screen, I got that Mirage. I got the Power Glide next to him. So I was telling you, I get all the the G1 guys, right? So, so I've got all those, and I still got to get that. What's new there is the Beachcomber and the Sea Spray.
The Sea Spray looks awesome. I don't know about that. I don't know so much about the alt mode there.
That's a choice.
Sea Spray's alt mode is questionable, but bot mode is the bomb. So I think I may have to get that. All right, what else? Power Baser.
Power Baser is
Black
basically a
Power
classic at this
Baser. I
point.
love that name for.
Sir?
Power Baser is just a classic at this point. I feel like it's been around for like a decade now.
Wow.
It has not been that long, but it feels like it.
Obvious reasons. Black Power Mesa. I might buy that. I might buy that for $200. If it's the same, assuming it's the same price, Fans Hobby Power Baser. That's an impressive figure.
No, that Power Master looks looks amazing.
Yeah. Power
One thing I didn't like
it's not a brick.
Yes.
about it when it came out, and I still don't. You know, the criticism is that he looks like a potbelly. It's a fat dude, but arguably,
That's the point. That's what he looks like.
Primus did look that way.
He's a version of.
And you know, we represent Black Power, so why not get the Black Power?
So while he was Bumblebee for a little bit, it was during that.
This is
Oh, I got the.
They did an Optimus version too.
Nicey.
Yeah.
The Nicey KOs, the Elita 1, the RC, and then this thing, I've never understood these things myself. You can get them at Show Z, but I don't understand why you would. Fans Toys Tesla, looking amazing. I love it. Fans Toys Rig. I don't have Fans Toys Home. Man, that hoist does look good. I said I don't need to trade in my ex-transbots after watching Bobby's review, but that looks dope.
You see Oladi's message there?
Oh yeah, $200.
Or Lottie be like, "Let me in, let me in."
90 over there. That looks dope. Look, I'm down on my knees for hoist.
That hoist looks good.
Robot Paradise 360. This guy is getting KO'd. We just learned, thanks to Mike at Tigerian Hanger.
$360, and they're making a KO for $140 now.
Or earlier in the week.
Is that still Fans Toys Sovereign? Just like straight up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I hated that figure. I borrowed it for a review a million years ago, and I was like, I did not like it.
That's why I love that figure.
I don't know what Megatron
I did not.
Yeah, well, you're complaining about the transformation, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
you got to agree the sculpt and the paint is amazing.
I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not that
It's also
impressed.
heavy enough that I'm like, I could bludgeon a man to death with this in like one hit.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't actually work as a laser cannon, but you could always, but it does work as a weapon.
Wow,
Yeah.
like the paint on the side. I have it open.
Oh, those are the actual MPs. Oh yeah, the new super expensive ones.
Yeah. Yeah, which I have I just bought those as KOs for $85 each.
Oh yeah, so this is the official zone. You can tell because the Bumblebee has the doors on them.
Yeah.
This official stuff just looks like trash to me.
Trash. Just like trash.
I love that four-world leader, freedom leader. I would.
Oh yeah, there's one of those
for the fact that Emgo just said
third-party Bumblebees without the wings.
compared to the Magnificent Mech Optimus. So if I see the Magnificent Mech Optimus, I might get it. Deluxe Baldwin, ladies and gentlemen, he's been following me around all day.
Get the volume back up.
Pretending that he doesn't recognize me, Professor D.
Hi, nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking you was in Baltimore, weren't you?
Yeah.
All right, I know.
You remember that?
Yeah.
All right. So different people.
The point of coming to TFCon. That's a provocative title.
Oh yeah, so we'll see. So that guy right there was Deluxe Baldwin, who also has a review channel, which is pretty dope.
It'd been fun if he had his camera as well, so you two were just like filming each other for like simultaneous cameos.
Yeah. I've talked to him about having him on the channel, so eventually we'll have him on as a guest on our show as well.
Nice. Oh, so are these like prototypes for new things? Because
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah, that's a punch counterpunch, but I'm like that looks prototypey because of how much of it is like plain plastic.
Yeah. It's literally, it doesn't even transform. It's just like the pieces glued together to give. These are all just test shots here.
Hello, Lottie.
Mr.
Hello,
O
Lottie.
in the house.
Holy man.
Yeah, we're just Professor D has magically transported us to TFCON Chicago through the medium of internet video.
Nice. So, what's up?
A lot.
We are reviewing my review of TFCON Chicago.
So, oh, cool. Look at that. So, we're doing a video reaction of your review of TFCON Chicago.
Exactly. So here's what we're about to watch. Here's my 1 minute and 45 second spiel on one of the best reasons to go to TFCON.
Beautiful.
We'll have
Okay,
different
let's hear it.
reasons, but for me, this is the point of coming to TFCon. Like, you get to see these prototypes. This is like, this looks like a 3D printed model of Galvatron. Obviously, I think it's Apollyon is the official name, I think. No, what am I saying? It's not Apollyon. I forget. Anyway, X-Transbots Galvatron, which it has been, 5 or 8 years that they've been showing pictures of this, and now here's a 3D printed model. And then down here you can see like these are very roughly painted, and also it looks maybe 3D printed, like this is rough plastic that you got on these guys. But all this row down here are figures I'm looking forward to from X-Transbots. Yeah, these guys look dope.
I like that he's a trumpet.
Look at, like, he's not even painted. That's just 3D printed in some weird plastic. So it's just different than seeing it online, to actually see it in this prototype stage, in this halfway stage in real life, as opposed to watching a video. So you're watching, like, look at that. You can see that that's just been spray painted plastic there.
See the white part.
It's just, for me, it says right there, test shot only. For me, this is the highlight. This is what I can't see by looking at videos or by purchasing the finished figure. So big up everybody. Professor D signing off for Children of Primus. TFCON Chicago 2020 dealer room. Peace.
This weekend.
Look, Anthony was waving you goodbye, D.
What was that?
I said, look, Anthony was waving you goodbye.
Or waving hello, which
Yeah, but you know what?
Magic of the internet.
But you're so right. No, but you're so right, D. What you said in the video there, it's like it's so hard to look at a figure through a video because you're actually looking. For me, it's like you're almost looking through another person's lens. It's not your own lens, and you can't really. And it's hard for you to pick up certain little details because you are looking through another person's lens, right?
Absolutely.
So you're absolutely correct when you're saying all that.
Yeah.
I was saying it too. Spectating is half the fun.
Oh,
yeah, totally. And what I said there too is that it's not just the difference between seeing it on a video versus seeing it in hand, but even when you buy the finished figure is not the prototype. So it's just neat to see the prototype, in that halfway stage, right? And it makes it that much cooler when you've gone to the convention, you've seen it in the test phase, and then you finally get the physical, the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
it's interesting that they still go to their way to run it in like proper colors, because I'm used to like a lot of Hashtag test shots. They'll make them with whatever plastic they have lying around, which is why they always come in so many crazy colors. Right.
So, but as you can see, those Constructicons, they were just in white, and then they were just spray painted, which you could see some of the white just coming through. Yeah. So Orlandi, so we've gone through the most of the videos that I had, but what we've got left is the highlight, which is the Peter Cullen stuff. So you time to watch our Peter Cullen segment. So here we are, Children of Primus, about to debut for the world who hasn't seen it yet.
Hold on, before you start, did I'm for sure I know you promoted Children of Primus, like hey, I'm from Children of Primus. I'm sure you did that. Did
I don't want to actually be associated, because people here actually know me in real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying not to be associated in real life with Children of Primus. But I did mention that you guys do Children of Primus.
Right. Now, did anybody mention like, hey, yeah, I've seen that video or something like that, or come across?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there were some people who didn't want to talk to me because they said you already interviewed me in Toronto. And I said, no, you're confusing me with the troublemaker who looks a little bit like me. We got similar eyebrows. We both have long hair, but mine is significantly longer. I'm not that guy. And and then I got a fresh interview, and now they won't talk to either of us.
Roll up footage of you on here, be like, this you, be like, I don't know who that is. It's not me.
No, but literally, I talked to a couple people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw you guys in Toronto," so it was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Well, you guys talk amongst yourself for about 2 minutes, and I just have to go off and then off screen, and then I will come back on, and then we will preview what we are waiting for.
All right, sounds good.
Let's do it.
It's fun that you have these people that go to both Toronto and Chicago.
No, exactly. That's pretty cool.
Did you get a haul of stuff outside of the shirt that you showed us already?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna ask.
No, I didn't. Actually, I just got the 2 shirts. I was gonna get those Seekers, but I figured it's overkill. So and then the exclusives were sold out by the time I showed up, so I didn't end up buying. I thought about it, but I was like, I'm not gonna just buy stuff for the sake of buying stuff. I've done that before. I got a big collection. I got my robots, on my neck and hanging out behind me. So I managed to keep it under control.
No, I know D has an excuse, so I'll let it slide. But did anybody do or follow up on the challenge?
Oh.
There you go.
You actually got that from the dollar store?
From the dollar store, $1. Yeah. So
what about you, Anthony?
I did not follow up on the challenge. I remembered today.
That's not cool, man.
Not cool.
I mean, I found a Minerva, which is not a dollar store thing, but like when I was out, that's what I came across.
Here, I'll give you a little sneak peek of mine.
What'd you get?
Ooh. What kind of Guerriere Robot Warrior? It's always Montoy.
Hold on, wait. But the funny part is, it's $5.
We haven't seen the robot yet.
No, we haven't. No, but I'm just showing you the price. It's actually $5. I bought this at the dollar store, but it's actually $5.
It's from Montoy.
Okay. And now Bill's gonna say, "Hey, but wait a minute, I got a $5 place on mine, and you whatever." But it's from the dollar store. That costs $5.
Let's see the figure though.
I thought we were gonna wait for the challenge when we all do it.
Oh, well, I just showed mine. How many other people really did it? I think it's me and you, bro. I think it was me and you.
All right. Should we wait for a spin or just do it now?
Well, Spin already did his. He had the dinosaurs.
All right. So are you ready? And there's actually a collection of these, eh?
That is a big. That looks pretty good.
Battle Combat Battalia.
You got all that plastic for $1?
Yeah,
$5 plus tax.
$5.
You can't forget the tax.
Dollar store?
Yeah.
Well,
see, look here. Hold on. I will show you the official dollar store price tag there.
That's not $1, bro. That's $5.
I know, but it's from the dollar store. I said the key thing was to buy something from the dollar store.
All right. Well, I think I won the challenge. I paid $1.
Well, okay, you won there, but I did buy from the dollar store because Anthony will confirm that is the official pricing of the dollar store.
Dollarama in Canada. They all have that.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
And how many steps this thing takes?
Yeah.
Apparently,
I was gonna say,
9 steps.
It's always Montoy. They seem to be the king of the dollar store.
So this is back of it. All right. And I was gonna get the Bumblebee one. I said, forget it. I'll get this one.
Even if for $5.
Even for $5. So it's, what does it say here? Battle Combat Battalia.
Makes it sound like an Italian last name.
All right, are you gonna unbox it? Why don't you do a live unboxing and tell us?
I'm gonna do that right now. My first unboxing of a Transformer. I don't know how many years.
All right, I'm gonna do the same.
We're unboxing something out of the box
together. I need a knife.
Oh, this thing's so cheap.
I'm gonna go get a knife. Back.
Just come back with the biggest knife imaginable.
Yeah. Are you gonna come with a knife?
Anthony knows my style. That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I'll be able to say, here's some knives.
Yeah. Are those like safe? Are those like unsafely sharp? Because that would be really funny.
You know what? It is. It doesn't bend at all.
No
Like
safety
you figure it'd be
standards.
rubber, right? It's not rubber. It's actually hard plastic.
Like you expect us to have standards for $5?
Look at this gun. It looks like a bee gun or something like that. Like, you know, something like an insect will have.
Yeah.
Right?
Hi, Bill, on Facebook, saying, sorry, mates, I'm working tonight. Just popping in for a quick second.
Well, good to see you, Bill.
Yeah.
There you go. And so here's the $5, $1 random transformer.
How posable is that man?
Oh, yeah. How's articulation? Head sculpt looks good.
The head sculpt, you know what? Here we go. So the head sculpt looks pretty good. I think this part here looks okay. But then the rest of it just like dies.
Goes downhill from there.
Oh, big time. Right? Like,
yeah, I don't know about the ankle articulation. I don't know if he's got.
yeah, I don't. There is. Look at that.
Oof.
Look at that.
They forgot to design the feet.
Aggressively does not have heel spurs. Is missing his heels too.
There is no feet at all. Like none.
Here's my little letter, my tiny letter opener.
Here's my knife.
They look very similar.
All right, let's have a knife fight. You can see why people confuse the two of us. Like we look a little bit similar. Like we pull out knives that look kind of similar.
Spin was like, "Oh, they're having a knife fight. I'm out of here."
Yeah. He showed up. He's like, nah.
You can tell these together from Jada Fitch. What's it called?
These motherfuckers again.
You know,
playing with their knives.
But the thing is, we can't go pew pew pew.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so like, yeah, the
I didn't go running. I didn't go running.
Oh.
I didn't go running. See, now you have to remember, you hold it from here.
You can see we're all in the same club. You can see we are
there
all.
You go.
These motherfuckers always got something handy.
We got experience here, right?
We don't go running. That doesn't happen on from that side of the city.
Why are you hanging Megatron, man?
That's how he comes. He's a keychain.
Oh, he's a keychain. I thought you were hanging on him. Like, what the hell?
Does he have any articulation, or is he a statue?
Yeah, he's a statue. No, he's a statue.
Has anyone said hello to Bill?
Yes, we have. He said, even
so which necklace is better?
Look, guys, this is my bling.
Yeah, exactly. This necklace is a $1 necklace. This is a $65 US. Not including it. We're not counting the chain, right? Just the item. Right, $65 Megatron versus this one. Now this one doesn't transform, but it's $1. This one does transform, but $65. Soljana on YouTube says, problem is in Canada, you cannot buy anything for $1 anymore, except maybe a pad of paper if you're lucky. Indeed.
That's true.
Yep.
So
Very
true. This guy would probably be $2 in Canada.
Yeah.
This guy's a good $100 in Canada.
Plus tax.
Okay,
I'll swap him out so you can see what he looks like as a necklace, and you can
your dollar store find.
Yeah, my dollar store fine.
I've seen that guy.
Oh, you
shoulders, hips, knees.
So the
he's got a waist.
You got a waist.
Waist articulation, okay. Does he stand up? Will he actually stand up on his own?
No. Wait, he did. Look.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Look at that, eh? He stood up. Look at that.
Can the arms go out, or do they only go forward?
We're gonna check that right now. So this is little tiny arm. Hold on, wait. There we go. So his arm does come out.
Goes up, but does it go out?
His arm comes off.
It goes out to infinity.
Hello, you ready? Bye. So,
Right.
I think
Now,
I broke it.
now
Like
first,
broken?
Oh, no, I brought it. I'll put it back on. There we go.
Okay.
Spin, let me get a full screen here. Here we go. Oh, he's backwards. There you go. There, he works as a necklace. Oh, he doesn't want to see you guys. I put him on. Okay.
He's
I
like
screwed up.
ashamed.
There he
I'm
is.
afraid. I'm afraid to transform this guy, but he has like these another arm that came off. But he has like these wicked doors that like he can like slash you with. It could be like an additional limit. Like the
All right,
heck?
maybe that's a feature.
Maybe.
What's the
No,
like
you know.
plastic
I think I
quality?
broke this. Did I break this? I broke it already, didn't I?
It's like $3 or $4, right?
No, this one's $5, man.
Oh,
Premium.
That's good.
Yo.
Did you get anything for this week? For this week's challenge?
No, not this week. I saw a set that I actually want to get.
I
They're
broke
not
this.
actually a set, but I'm going to try to create them, turn them into a combiner set, if possible, if it's possible.
I always look at Hot Wheels cars, and then I look for Hot Wheels cars that look like G1 alt modes.
Mhm.
And then I imagine, or when I see the construction vehicles, I'm like, I could just glue these together and make a Devastator or something.
No, totally.
I think I broke this. I'm trying to transform it into its vehicle. The vehicle looks pretty good, but
Yeah, let's see it.
yeah, it doesn't want to transform. I gotta break the arms off and put it
Oh
back
boy.
on. It's a part former.
I'm just waiting for it to explode
Now,
into.
it wasn't originally a parts former, but now it is.
Now it is. Many things end up being parts formers.
I'm just waiting for it to explode into plastic shards.
Would you get in there? Like I'm struggling here, guys.
While the parts former is having a Wreck-Gar moment, we have Peter Cullen lined up.
Hold on, wait. I got it somewhat transformed. Talk about wreck guard.
Almost. It's better on the other side.
Wow.
You know, just make a bunch of laps. You know, when you're driving. All right, let's go to Peter Cullen. Okay, you're trash. Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay, one thing I just thought before
There
it
goes
starts.
everyone's eardrums.
That $1 Megatron does have a practical use, because you could hold up that gun and be like, I'm good at transforming. I'm so good at transforming. And then really quickly put it behind your back and pull the other one out and be like, there, I transformed it really quickly. And I think that's worth $1.
It is.
Bam!
Yeah.
Look at it. All right, let me try it. All right, guys, I'm going to transform this guy. You know, it's a mini masterpiece, very complicated. You know, so what you do is you go like this, you pull out the legs. You got to be really careful when you do the arms to do the. I got a trick where you can do it quick, like rather than like pulling out all the pieces here, you pull this out here. You know, it's complicated, but if you just blow on it, then it just goes in the box.
That's not fair, man.
There you go. That's what
How
you're
come you-
actually paying for.
Look. From that transformer to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, is it like perma broken?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, good lord.
Gosh.
Trash. Okay, wait a minute. Why there's a Star Wars guy there? That rebel.
What? Star Wars? What are we talking about?
Yeah, there's a guy in a leather jacket there. With a rebel singing in the background.
It's a toy convention.
This guy.
Yeah.
Stop it. More. Stop it. No, some more. What's up, Voltron?
Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Peter Cullen.
overwhelming. I'm really touched, and I mean that sincerely. I've met a lot of you today. I've hugged a lot of you today. I've shaken a lot of hands today. And every one of you means something to me. That's can't be erased. It's there forever. And just want to let you know how much I truly appreciate you.
Tearing up? Are you tearing up already?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's gonna get more emotional. Trust me.
And we all are from Cybertron. You all are one.
He's got a few things.
And we are.
There we go. Now the things have been done.
Can you see me?
Fist bump.
I'm sitting down. Well, I'm only 3'6". So, anyway, I don't know where to begin, but I no doubt that for you, I would encourage you to ask me anything you want, as long as you have the question review first.
I'm going to be your moderator today. My name is John, and I've got a set of pre-screened questions for you. And if you're ready, I'll start from here.
I like that, yeah. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna keep the weirdos out.
Yeah. He said you can ask me anything you want as long as it's pre-screened.
You know, I don't think I ever transitioned. I think I always was. When I was a kid, I was really interested in the reactions that I got from animals. I worked on a farm when I was a kid. My aunt in Dutchess County, New York, lived next to a dairy farm, and so I spent my
I'm hoping. I think that the sound gets better as we go on.
One thing I encourage more is to follow your heart, follow your dreams, and never give up on it. Never give up. Never give in, never give up. Because eventually, something will happen. Eventually. I hope that answers your question.
I didn't
It
say
did for me!
VIP ticket holders. Nesrin Hassanli, if you could show yourself. And Nesrin, would you like to read the question? Of course, absolutely, who would?
Hi Peter, I'm an aspiring audiobook reader. How can an artist take care of their voice so it can last for a long time?
Cigars and whiskey.
I think if you're a singer, that's really important. That you don't stretch your vocal cords. But I've done a lot of
Whoops!
voices.
I guess I made a mistake.
Coughed up a little blood doing King Kong years and years ago. This is an old story, but I think it's worth repeating. Invention sometimes happens out of necessity. You know, you have a throat that was bleeding because of a gorilla. Mother and father gorilla. Nice to meet you. And when I was called down to 20th Century Fox for the Predator attack, is how the Predator came about. I'm sure some of you know the story behind that.
This is a pretty good story here.
Because I didn't want to do monster sounds anymore. was afraid that I wouldn't be able to do anything, you know. So I remembered, and they showed me the Predator, what he looked like after enough insistence. I said, they weren't very happy to show me the character. It was top secret. And, you know, I said, well, if I can't see the character, you know, what's the point of me being here? I've got to create that sound. I've got to create. So they finally relented, and I looked at that and said, oh, he's ugly. And that face with the tentacles, you know. It reminded me of an upside down horseshoe crab.
Yeah, I've heard this.
On the Atlantic seaboard up in Massachusetts, in Situate, Massachusetts.
It's not nice he was talking about Van Damme like that.
In the sun, and all the bubbles were coming out of its mouth, I guess. And they're clicking. When I got down close, so I said, oh, not only does it look ugly, it reminded me, you know, immediately, the Predator. I just thought of that horseshoe crab, and I said, bring that microphone down. Way up there. I said, no, bring it down more. I'm in a studio where they probably filmed, I don't know, whatever huge film of the year was back in the 30s, 40s, 50s. It was very leather, big leather chairs and stuff for the so it was quite a scene. And I'm telling this guy to bring this microphone down. To right here. Now here's a microphone that can pick up a sound, you know, to that back door. And I'm going. So the director is behind me, and he's really annoyed. He can't hear what I'm doing, and he's just annoyed, you know, like, who is this jerk? All right, that's enough, that's enough. And he starts storming up and the microphone. The soundman up in the booth behind the studio said, you gotta come up here. No, I mean it now. Come on up here. You gotta hear this. So he walked up. And you hear the door slam. And about 5 minutes later, he comes in. Oh, hey, okay, anyways, let's do that again. Okay. So that was that story. I love telling it. It's funny. It's just, I can see that guy storming up those stairs. There's a tear in my eye. Oh, next.
So our next question comes from VIP member Daniel Thomas. Daniel? Oh. Daniel, would you like to ask your question?
My question is, when did you realize that you and Frank Welker had become iconic characters?
You know, my first cartoon was with Frank. It's called Mighty Man and Yuck.
Very iconic.
I was Mighty Man. Frank was Yuck. Yuck was a dog that was so ugly he had to wear a doghouse over his head. But sometimes he'd take it off, and Mighty Man would say, no, don't take them, don't take them. You know? And I turned into Mighty Man, who sounded like Bing Crosby, I guess. We were in those days, we just did all kinds of stuff. So it was, that's where we forged a friendship that started from that day until today, even now as we go. And he's probably one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life.
Found a picture.
They make me laugh more than anything in the world. Only one other person that could make me laugh was Jonathan Winters, Richard Pryor. And, I've had many an opportunity to be with them.
Richard Pryor can't make you laugh. You got no funny bone.
He just said he used to hang out with Richard Pryor, which I didn't know. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish you were here because we normally work together. But I don't know if I'm answering your question or not. It's I forgot the question. He does that to me. He started talking about Frank and I talk about anything else. Frank! He's here.
Where's my buddy?
It was when you realized you and Frank were iconic characters.
Oh, iconic. That's an overused word.
This is interesting.
That's,
Yeah, that's Mighty Man and Yuck. I looked them up. There's a few pictures. I didn't realize Mighty Man was like miniature.
Oh, when he said it, I had no recollection of it at all, but that looks vaguely familiar.
Yeah. Hey, there's more pictures. That's just the clearest one that they had.
Nice.
I'm surprised he said, I'm surprised he didn't follow up saying iconic. No, I'm a legend.
Summer in Spafford, Ontario, doing Shakespeare.
Well, this man has no ego.
Shakespearean festival there. And I was an actor at the Press Theatre Repertory Company for a year in Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto!
That's where my life started to change. And to be an icon, I think I think it's very difficult
Just say you're a legend. I'm a legend. Just say it.
to make a living, you know, unless you can do an awful lot of voices and sounds. And I would call Frank definitely an icon. Now that I think about it, after explaining it to my son. And Frank is a master, you know, he's a master. I do a few things. So I'm a journeyman compared to Frank. How's that?
I think it's fantastic. Our next question comes from VIP member Yosendo. That's my favorite question.
Oh, this one's funny.
My wife thought you did the voice of Megatron. Should I divorce her and move on?
Yeah. Like, sign the paper. Yeah.
No, it just means that she's like not into. It just means that she's limited.
No comment.
I thought that was for the ink dry.
So the next question is from a friend, Sebastian Hernandez. Sebastian.
What's it called? I'm his lawyer
When
representing
you
the
first read
just
that
asked
they
me
were
that
going
question.
to kill Lamppost, how did you feel?
When I first what? I'm sorry?
When you first read the scripts of Transformers the movie, that they were going to kill Lamppost, how did you feel?
Did you cry?
Well, I didn't actually read any script. I read a short, brief speech of Optimus Prime, and I was given the opportunity to pick several characters on the display table as you come in, and it was an open call for a lot of actors to come in. You pick up characters. I picked up Optimus Prime because I was asked to, and I picked up Iron Pride, and I picked up a few other characters. And I had a little time to ingest what they looked like and possibly the description of their character. And I had just the night before, I'd been watching it in an old movie on television that had co-starring with Chill Wills. And Chill Wills was an old character actor, famous in Hollywood, did a lot of westerns, and he had that distinctive voice. And I went into the audition after I did Optimus Prime. I did Ironhide as Chill Wills, and I got that. And I knew I got it.
Well, listen to this guy talk now that he's talking about.
I didn't know if I was Brian until about 8 weeks later. You know, when you go to an audition in Hollywood, you audition for almost anything in the cartoon business. You know, you could be auditioning as an empty pail. What does an empty pail sound like? We had, I did a battery one time. What does a battery sound like? I started talking like that, like a car that couldn't get started in the morning. And I start off pretty good like this and go, and then I start talking again. So I then running out of electric juice. I got that job too. And it read, I'm a 15-year-old car that can't seem to get started. Hard in the morning. Anyway, it didn't last long, but it was fun doing. Question?
He's just saying like.
And we don't get scripts overnight. We get them, when we show up at the studio.
I know this.
Like this, and I get to the page where who was it? Oh, some actor used to go like this. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. My line. Nonsense. So I'm going to just see how many lines I have in this thing, and I'm going to see Optimus Prime, and then about page 11.
Turn on the light for me.
Optimus Prime takes deep breath and dies. Frank, I'm getting whacked here. No, I'm getting whacked.
It's like Goodfellas.
Wow. Oh, well, yeah, okay. You know, I didn't like that at all. Yeah, I didn't like it at all. And one of the reasons was because
everybody's starting to cry all over
that
again.
I was working with were so great and so much fun, you know. We had so much fun doing those G1 shows. And we enjoyed each other, you know, and we always made each other laugh. And it was just a non-stop laugh session. And that drove the producer and directors nuts, you know. Are we have some order in there, please?
And we enjoyed watching them.
Hello? Oh, no, of course. All right. 47, line 47, take one. And if it was me and Frank was sitting next to me or something, just as I'd be reading, he'd start doing like a leaky faucet. Frank! Can we have some quiet in there, please? Take two. silly stuff, but we had a ball. And that's what I missed. I mean, I really did miss those guys and girls. I mean, you know what? They're just great people. Just great people. Yeah. Still are, always will be. With people that I love and care for, that care for me, and I would never have envisioned or imagined that. But here we are, and I think it's one of the greatest gifts I've ever received as a person or as an actor, and I cherish it. And, it means so much to me. I wouldn't trade places for anything in the world for this. And it's hard sometimes now because they're starting to do Optimus Prime with other people, and it hurts. You know, it hurts. Netflix, I think, came up with that show, a non-union thing, so I just think they can get away with stuff like that. Anyway, I got you.
Yeah, I saw about Cloudreverse because it was a non-union show, so that's why people like him working it.
I'd be hurt too, man, if they didn't call me.
Transform and roll out. It's so much fun to say that.
You'll enjoy hearing that. Our next question comes from Everett Greenland.
Can you pause it for 1 second? I have to agree with Peter Collin there, because it's like he doesn't sound like he's aged, or he sounds like he's senile or anything like that. The guy still sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And he's such an iconic voice. You know, it's a shame that they don't bring him back for the other shows. Right?
Yeah, and you notice that he mentioned that for the, like, you know, he used the Netflix show as an example, and he says the way they get away with it is they're using non-union actors.
Yeah.
So what that means is that even the Actors Guild is in support of him continuing to do Optimus Prime, and so the Actors Guild themselves recognize it as just a way for the brands to save money by using an imitator rather than using the actual actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
At least he's in the next movie as Optimus, so like, you know, he hasn't been shut out of the role entirely.
Right.
No.
Right. Well, but it's only because, but the only reason he hasn't is not because, you know, the company cares, not because the franchise cares, but because the fans are so strongly in support of him.
Yeah.
Well, look at with Star Wars now, the voice of Darth Vader. I'm just trying to remember his name now.
James
Star
Earl
Wars.
Jones.
Yeah, Earl Jones. Thank you. He's officially retired now. He's not doing Darth Vader anymore, right?
They just brought that up in this last panel that I was at, which, you know, I don't know if we'll get to it tonight, but this last panel that Spin and I just live streamed earlier today. Right. They mentioned that, but I didn't get the full context, so maybe you could tell our viewers.
So what they've done now?
I don't get it. Like, how is James Earl Jones retiring?
So
he's old.
Retired. Yeah, he's old, but he's retired of doing the Darth Vader voice, right? And so now what they've done is that since they have so much context of him speaking as Darth Vader,
yeah, okay.
They have like this AI, so they have this AI program, right? Whereas the actor, right, can say the words, and all they have to do is run those words through that AI program, and that's become a speech. It's a speech program. So now they have it for life. His voice, in a sense, right? And they can use it, and how much money they're saving because they're not paying an actor.
Well, he like had to approve it, and it comes with it. So I'm guessing he got like a cut. You know,
he got paid. Yeah. So the question is, what did he get paid for that? And like, what is that to like license your voice in perpetuity?
Well, I mean, there's
apparently Bruce Willis. Sorry, Mike. I just remember right now. So, my apologies. I remember also because Bruce Willis also retired because he's going through, I think, Alzheimer's or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but some kind of sickness that he's going through.
Oh man, I hope it's not Alzheimer's.
No, it's aphasia, I believe.
Okay, so they literally he allowed them to use his voice and also his likeness because they also created another AI machine that can basically do like a deep fake or deep face of his face superimposed on another character.
Yeah. By the way, I just checked. James Earl Jones retired because he's 91 years old. So I'm like, okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I'm not happy about that, I like all this AI stuff. I'm experimenting with it myself. But the reason I'm not happy that they're doing an AI version of James Earl Jones is because I was hoping that I would get cast as the next Darth Vader. I do a mean James Earl Jones impression.
You said you were experimenting with AI. I'm like, parents, are your children experimenting with AI?
Wow.
It's 11 o'clock. Are they on their computer?
Yeah.
You know? Instead of, do you know where your children are? Do you know sorry?
Is your son talking to a real girl or is he experimenting with AI?
Wow.
So glad we grew up in the 80s and the 90s, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. I just wanted to comment on that. So
I think this is the last one here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, just before that, I was gonna say, I think if like a lot of voice actors or possibly have sold their voices or licensed them out, because I believe the person who did the voice for Kit, like that voice has been sold to a GPS unit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can have your GPS sounding like Kit.
Yeah, I want that. And also Teletran 1. I think it's the same guy, right? What's his name?
I forgot his name, but he played he was like a doctor on Saint Elsewhere. And he was the principal in what's it? Yeah, that children's
like head
show.
Of the class.
That's it. No, not head of a class, because that's Johnny Fever.
No, but he was the principal.
Yeah, but the show wasn't head of the class. Head of the class was the one with Johnny Fever.
Okay, doesn't matter, guys. Doesn't matter. That's the voice I want for my AI. Like for Google, for Alexa, like if we could select the voice, like I want Kit to be the voice.
Yeah, like that would be cool.
Not Kit. I want Teletran 1 to be the voice.
I don't care. I believe Willie McDaniels is his name, but I would rather Kit than a
K, doesn't it? K Kirby. Whatever.
The point is, the two Michaels will like to have the Kit because he says, "Hello, Michael."
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
There you go.
See?
All right.
Let's do it.
Hello, Michael.
He's awesome. All right. I actually couldn't find out what question to actually ask you, so I asked some of the veterans up at my local lodge, and they all came up with this one, or at least the ones that know you. With all that you have done, did you ever imagine Optimus Prime ever having such an impact on your career?
Not really. I knew it was a very important character. It was innovative. It was transcending the norm of animation. The conception of a transforming toy was unique. And I thought, when I first read for the characters, I thought, this is really interesting, you know. It's kind of, we'll make it or not, you know. But it wasn't like Legos or something where you put things together. I mean, these things did it on their own. And it was fascinating. So I guess it would be after a while where I started feeling that this is going to go someplace. Then I got whacked.
Hope somebody gives him a RoboSen Optimus. He did the voice for it after all.
I think they did give him
And I got whacked.
That's what happens
And
when
when
you pay
the
your
feature film
fees.
came out, that's when I really knew. You know, it passed the $1 billion mark. I mean, that's unheard of, you know. Gone with the Wind did that. You know, but it took years to do that. That movie did, well, a couple of them did over $1 billion. And it's fascinating. So that's when I really, the feature film showed me that. And I guess it's awesome. It really is. It's an awesome thought. And a privilege. It's a great privilege. And I'm treated that way. It's done wonderful things for a lot of people. That's a great question. Thanks. Thank you.
Well, you made me buy an Optimus Prime toy.
Next up, we have a question from Clay Wyatt.
Hey,
Clay Wyatt?
Just go pretend to be
Okay, well, I guess I'll read Clay's question. Peter.
Did you say play quiet? That's why you're being quiet?
Performing as Optimus Prime.
Oh, well, there would be direction, but not character direction. It was always, would be something technical. Peter, you want to raise the volume up there because he's on a catapult and it should be heard. It's going to be a catapult, always heard. It's going to be a thing. Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. But other times, I had to say lines that I believed in the character. I believed in it. And if I was asked to say a line that was just not Optimus Prime, you know, I would say I really don't want to read that one. I don't think he'd say that. And there was only one director that ever told me, he said, well, just say it anyway. I want to have it. I want to have it. I said, I just don't feel comfortable. So, well, just read the line. Okay. And it's just not Optimus. It wasn't Optimus. I'll kill them all.
Murder Prime,
baby.
He specifically denounces Murder Prime.
Thank you. We have one last question from VIP member Gabe Mayuga? Sorry.
Notice how we say
Right, Gabe.
for people who like it.
How difficult was it for you to make the Predator sounds?
It was the line that birthed Murder Prime.
How difficult was it for you to make the Predator sounds?
Obviously not very.
Yeah, that's the old upside down horseshoe crab on the beach deal. With the bubbles coming out of its mouth. It was also a telephone, dude. Remember the old dial telephones?
Yeah.
Nice.
Take us back. Wow.
They're like, what's that?
Well, hello, it was a toddler.
Yeah.
big thank you to the legend.
I'm getting dizzy.
I hope I see you guys again. I really do. You're in my heart.
Oh, my great leader exits the ceremony.
Oh, no, they're gonna pump up burn mush him. That's why. Stay in your seats. Do not burn mush the guy.
That's
exactly what I was thinking. You should play the end. We got a good walkout there.
Oh, okay.
Did you say, hey Pete, you murder it? You should have read that like the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, like everybody has to sit down. He's shaking everybody's hands. Pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
That's pretty cool, right?
That guy, that kid.
Yeah.
I said Peter, oh my god.
Somebody should hand him a baby to kiss.
I love you too.
There's the girl right beside me. He's like, I love you, Peter.
I love your baby.
She was pretty cute too. I don't know if he hooked up with her later on that night. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was
As
good time.
Optimus Prime and exits the convention.
Optimus Prime. Thank you. To return another day.
Yeah, whatever the narration they tacked on to the European TFTM was. The greatest transformer of them all, Optimus Prime, will return.
Right.
Y'all seen that version ever?
I would have said to him, Peter, you got the touch.
Well, you shake his hand. You'd be like, touching his hand, you'd be like, Peter, I just realized you've got the touch.
Get the touch. You killed it, man. You killed it.
He's too nice. So he'd never be like, oh, I've never heard that before. Gee.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Like how many times
like,
in 40 years?
Yeah.
So
that was a unique comment.
Yeah. Because like I've seen him at TFCons before. And I'm like, this guy's from like a different era of people, like in general, you know.
Totally. No, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. He's just like this kindly old guy who's like I voice silly cartoon characters and people really like that, so I just kept and then this one made me take off.
So we have Julie Blalack on YouTube who says, Peter praying for me, Julie. So whatever that means, Julie,
We pray for you.
You're in our prayers as well.
Give us an explanation.
Yeah. And FazeMan81 on Twitch says, at Supreme, which class Dinobot was sitting next to you?
On your right.
Yes.
So this was what I unboxed, I believe, last week. This is my Sludge, the latest Dinobot in the mainline series. It's pretty dope. I had a transformation, a transform off with Bill, and I actually lost the competition, very sadly. But I managed to transform Agamemnon on my neck while we were watching Peter Cullen. So I feel like
legitimately.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. And if you want to see Agamemnon, aka New Age Megatron, ride Sludge in Dinobot mode, then have a look at our podcast from last week. And thank you for the question, Phase Man.
Yeah, I broke mine.
You broke your what? You got this guy? Oh
No,
no,
my $5 transformer.
Yeah. While I was listening, I unpacked and transformed Minerva. So there's that.
Nice. And Spin has is it Slag? Who's the
Slag?
Yeah, it was Slag, right?
Yeah, Slag.
Yeah. So I didn't get Slag, and I saw him at the convention. So I got Grimlock. I got this guy. Slag was there at the convention, but he was $80. So I was like, am I going to pay a $30 premium to get this guy? I decided no. But I loved how big he was. I was like, this is nice, but I didn't want to pay $80 for him.
Mm-hmm.
They're acting like a Canadian now.
Exactly. Give me 1 second. I got to take this call. I'll be right back.
Just leaving us here. Yeah. So Minerva, this is the one that changes into the bizarre clown-looking car that looks like the Homer from The Simpsons.
Oh, what was it called again? Car.
The Homer. The car for Homer.
Was it the Homer?
Yeah.
Wasn't it another name?
No. It was literally called the Homer.
Oh, the Homer. Okay, I thought it was called Carmaro or something like
Canyonero.
that. Yeah, Canyonero.
Yeah, that's a different car.
Oh, a different car. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Yeah. But when this one, because this is a retool of Alita 1, so it's really her that people said this. We saw the images and everybody was like, why does that look like the Homer from The Simpsons? The Homer Simpson car.
I don't know. If I'm Hasbro and I get a lot of comments like that, I'm like, okay, trash. Next.
Yeah, you see people are like, when are they going to do a Simpsons collaborative now that they have a tooling that looks like it and they can repaint it into that?
There you go.
So
where'd you get that T-shirt?
Homer Simpson car, but this is like the Homer Simpson car, but also the new Alita 1 looks like a Homer Simpson car. Is that not?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Minerva's a retool of her, so.
Oh, I didn't realize they were the same. Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at the D's T-shirt there for a second. It looks like the Van Halen symbol there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I picked this up at the con.
Nice.
See what it says, Van Hollen.
Hollen.
And then I showed my other one earlier, but I don't mind showing it again. These are the two items. I didn't buy a bunch of figures this time, but I got this.
Unicron smoking a spliff.
Right, Unichronic.
Unichronic. I would need Snoop Dogg next to him.
Yeah, exactly.
He's Unichronic.
Got to get fucked up.
Unichronic.
With my shit Unichronic. Got to get fucked up.
No, you remember the song Supersonic?
No, how does it go?
You don't remember the girl Supersonic? The two girls that were like from the 80s. So it was
well, name a song.
It was Supersonic.
That was the song, or what was the band called?
No, I'm trying to remember the name now.
See, the fact, and I'm just imagining an alternate version of the animated movie where Megatron's like, I don't know what happened. I greened out, and then when I woke up, I was purple and had a crown and sounded like Leonard Nimoy.
Yep.
Almost got it.
I mean that's a good sound. So we lost DJ Spinnis.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Homer car. But in white instead of green.
It was called GG Fab.
Are you do you plan to get that Alita one?
Nah. I just wanted Minerva because of I like Master Force, so
okay. All right. So yeah, I thought the Peter Cullen was not a letdown. I thought it was a really good talk. Even though, a lot of times if you're going to have questions that are pre-screened, then it's going to be watered down. It's not going to be good. But it was pretty good regardless.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of feel like for somebody like him, it's a necessity to do like the screeners so that he's not taken aback and it's stuff he can actually answer and.
Yeah, and the older you get, the more legitimate that kind of thing becomes, right? It's harder to
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Did you guys get the other comments from Phaseman?
Yeah, he asked what the one on with the Dinobot was. That's the last thing I saw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow, he's cute.
Go ahead, read it.
Wow, he is cute. Can somebody write which sludge? Yeah, Studio Series 86. He says, I collect Super 7 reactions, Transformers 3/4 scale. Yeah, I got a couple of those. I got Galvatron and Hot Rod. Because I always get a Hot Rod, and then Hot Rod needed somebody to fight, so I got me a Galvatron.
So, Phase Man, question for you. Do you actually open them the way Anthony did, which is what you're not supposed to do with the Super 7s? Or do you keep them on the card?
Yeah.
And the answer is thank you.
You're welcome. Glad to have helped.
The thank you was to a previous question, or to getting answers to all of his questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spaceman81 on Twitch says, haha, yeah. I got Prowl, Skyfire, both Grimlocks. So he's talking about the Super 7s.
Mm-hmm.
So, Phaseman, do you keep them on the card or do you open them?
Yeah.
And what Transformers lines do you collect? We'd like to know.
Yeah. I want to get the Unicron when they make it, the giant Super 7 Unicron.
That looks cool. The Unicron, and also the Grimlock in Dinobot mode looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Which it sounds like he's got. So.
Right. Well, so they did 2 Grimlocks though. They did the first one they did was the bot mode, and then they did the Dino mode, which I'm not sure if the Dino mode is out yet.
So he opens them up, and he used to collect Masterpiece, but too expensive. Yeah, right there with you.
Nobody on this panel doesn't feel your pain.
I think he's Canadian.
Yeah, all the more reason, right? I think.
Well, we've met him. He was we interviewed him at TFCON.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's right.
And you think you said his video was debuting next week?
That is correct.
So D, overall,
that was TFCON Toronto.
Yeah.
And if any of our viewers can tell us what my favorite reveal was, if you put in the comments below, first person to put in the comments below what my favorite reveal was of TFCON Toronto, then you can win a TFCON 2020 bag.
2022.
2022. I don't know why I always say 2020. I still say 2020. Hold on. 2022 bag. If you know what my favorite reveal was, put it in the comments below, and you could win the bag.
You know, a 2020 bag would be extremely exclusive.
Yeah.
But
you're right.
But D, you got to sign it and put Children of the Primus on the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't put a comment within the next 3 weeks, then I'm giving this to DJ Spinister. Right? So you can win DJ Spinister's bag if you know the answer.
So overall, what do you rate Chicago TFCon?
It was great. It was what we talked about earlier is it was the highest attended TFCon that they've had so far.
Nice.
Wow.
So I think there's a lot of people like really rebounding from from COVID, and they even mentioned that in Toronto, although it was good, it's funny. The organizer said the same thing that you guys said, which is that I remember you saying that although it was fun, it seemed relatively sparsely attended compared to previous TFCons. Mm-hmm. And he said the same thing. And then this one, people really came out in force. Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm worried about is people came out in force and everybody gave everybody COVID, and it's a new variation, and we're about to find out, 50% of those people are going to be sick next month. But I wore a mask the whole time. Most people were not wearing masks. But I think in that close quarters, in the current environment, that's not very wise.
Well,
so,
I mean, the mindset the mindset has been different between both sides of the borders. Like, I would say exactly the mindset of everyone at that TFCon, it's been that way for almost a year on that side of the border. Whereas now on this side, exactly as it was sparse, that's the mindset on this side of the border.
Well, that's smarter. That's smarter. And I think in the next 2 months, we're going to see, where does the pandemic get worse, Canada or the U.S.? And I think it's going to be worse here.
Oh,
So we talk about, how the lockdown, you guys have had a lot of, when we were talking about the lockdown before, it was worse in Canada. Maybe they were overdoing it, whatever. But there is the cultural difference. And, that does have its impact, which we'll see how that pans out over the next few months.
Yeah,
So,
I'll be curious.
so we have 4 minutes left. What do we have on deck for this week?
Oh, well, I got to add one picture, then it's ready to go. My write-up of the A Hero Was Born set.
Nice.
Alpha Trion, Orion Pax, and
let me say something about that. I saw that set at the convention. You paid $100 Canadian for it.
Yeah.
I saw only one booth had it. They were selling it for $100 US. So you got
boy.
it. Yeah, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing that.
Well, it always happens. They'll get some in advance to be like, do you want it now or do you want it in November when it's actually supposed to come out?
Well, the funny part is, it's actually cheaper for you, D, to buy the Transformers here in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that set in particular you're talking about?
No, just in general.
Yeah, because once you convert it, like you're saving.
No, but it's still cheaper for me to buy them in the U.S. as opposed to buy them in Canada.
Yeah.
Hey, the U.S. dollar price. Well, really, I buy them from China, right? I buy them from China, have them shipped to Canada. have them shipped to the U.S. That's the cheapest way to get them, using U.S. dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Is Meta Faceman 81 says, is Meta still at his hotel? I am currently in my hotel in Chicago at TFCON. Yes.
Yeah.
This is real. This is really happening. This is really TFCon. You, Faceman, have experienced it 3 times removed. We just went through this. So I experienced it firsthand. These 3 guys here experienced it secondhand. They've virtually been at TFCon Chicago. They've almost had the experience of being in the room with me. And you have had the experience of being in the room with them. So you're 3 times removed. So you, Faceman, are the third party of attendance at TFCon Chicago in the hotel room with me right now. So give it up for yourself. Everybody.
And you didn't have to pay for it either.
That's right. Right. You got it free.
Just like earlier. Yeah, streaming live via internet.
The magic of the internet.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, free entry.
Don't tell anyone on the internet.
So we also, so I don't know, Orlati or Anthony, if you guys had a chance to see it earlier, but Spin and I did live stream the last few panels of today. So we live stream from about approximately Spin, 3 o'clock to 5:30, something like that.
Yeah.
So actually on our channel,
yeah,
we
almost 3 hours.
Yeah, the whole end of the conference.
I'll have to watch that. I was on the road, but I will be a viewer just as the rest of these guys should be viewers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was at a hockey rink all day.
Yeah, so I didn't, I was hoping to be able to go around and interview people. I did get around to talking to some people, but I wasn't able to get the setup going and everything like that, the way you guys did at TFCon Toronto, and that was really dope the way you did that.
It took 3 people and a lot of tech, so.
Yeah, exactly, which I didn't have with me at the time. But still, I think what Spin and I managed to pull off, we'll see when we look at it how the audio and the video is. But I think we pulled off something. Mm-hmm. And I think it's cool, we're having our presence, and we'll keep doing it. So the upcoming event, so what they announced just at the end here is that the next TFCon October, so one year from now, is going to be in Orlando, Florida. So I think we should plan to all of us actually get down there if we can. I know Malati is a Florida fan.
So are you trying to say to get our suntan lotion ready?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying get it ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. FazeMan81 says Peter Cullen audio was low. Absolutely, it was. Hoping you could hear it. But if you, for all the parts that you couldn't catch on the stream right now, FazeMan, we do have all those individual clips. They are uploaded on our channel, so you can watch them individually. And the audio is probably better directly from that video as opposed to the way we're watching it now. Because how you're seeing it right now is you're watching the YouTube video being streamed through here, so you have an extra layer of degradation. Versus if you just watch it straight on our channel, you might be able to hear it better.
Mickey Mouse, guest of honor at TFCON Florida. He says, no, keep the mouse away from Transformers. They're hoovering up everything else. Let's not have them hoover that up.
Absolutely.
You know, I saw a comment somewhere about that in terms of someone saying it would be sad if Disney and Marvel, took over Transformers. And like, I think some people forgot Transformers comics was under Marvel like 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, and Marvel writing in terms of like, you know, any other director writing, it probably would help them out.
Oh, Marvel would be great, but Disney.
Yeah,
Disney,
well,
I'm
not Disney, but if it still stays within the hands of Marvel, even though it's still technically under Disney, then you know, then it works.
Like if
Hasbro
Hasbro
Star
wants
Wars,
to
Is
give
there a connection? I don't. What's the connection between Disney and Marvel?
Disney owns Marvel.
Oh, do they? I didn't even know that.
Oh, Disney owns everything.
They bought Marvel.
Yeah.
So the
Like
comparison,
all of it.
the comparison is basically when Disney handles Star Wars movies or Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
It's not as good when Marvel is dealing with their intellect properties, meaning like, you know, all the Marvel characters, right, and their productions and their TV shows, right. So that's the two comparisons that they're talking about, right. So if Transformers gets on there, who would it be? Would it be Disney or would it be Marvel?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. It's
Right.
just different creative teams, right? They like so Disney owns it, but if they still have the Marvel creative team running it, then it's still going to be good.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want Disney to own Transformers, but if Hasbro wanted to maybe give the license to Marvel as the next comic guys, like then that'd be good, you know?
Yeah. So FazeMan81 is actually asking, so watch on YouTube. Yeah, so for FazeMan or anybody else who's interested, all the clips that we just reviewed
And
on
this
live stream, you can watch those clips individually on our channel on YouTube. And you should probably hear the audio and also see the images better, because in the live stream, you'll get the additional graininess, the additional quality loss, but hopefully you can see the images a little bit better.
Cool.
Yeah, and Children of Primus says, FazeMan, you can go to youtube.childrenofprimus.com, which everybody else can go to as well. All the other future viewers of this live stream.
So stating that, comment, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification, so you're all up to date.
And we will keep Van Hauling, transforming, and rolling out.
Dun, dun,
And
dun.
that, ladies and gentlemen, is our podcast for the evening.
Mike, that's when you're